You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run, but did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Greetings and welcome to The Dungeon Run, a live tabletop role-playing game where your interactions help tell the tale. I am Lord Ereban, the Keeper of Secrets, and I have brought these adventurers together and set them on an epic quest to decide the fate of the world. When they found my amulet, it gave them the key to unlock the mysteries of Ayn and allowed them to communicate with you, the Watchers of the Time Stream. Now you have the power to help or hinder them as you see fit. If this is your first episode, fear not. Our Dungeon Master will catch you up on everything you need to know to jump right in. And you can always watch past episodes by visiting our YouTube or listen to the audio version by searching for The Dungeon Run wherever you get fine podcasts. The Dungeon Run is made possible through the generous support of our patrons. Bonus shows, special content, and more is available when you become a supporter at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. And join the incredible Dungeon Run community by visiting the official, unofficial Discord at thedungeon.run/discord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. But now, sit back, relax, enter the world of Ayn, and let the dice roll!
It's already a party. Everybody's giggling already. The pre-show was a wild one. You should have been here for it.
It's gonna be one of those shows.
I hope not. Welcome, friends, watchers of the time stream, patrons. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here for episode 89 of the Dungeon Run. If this is your first episode, fear not. You can jump right in here. I'm gonna give you everything you need to know to start with this episode very shortly, but I want to do some updates first. The first thing we need to say is happy birthday to our own Jessica Lynn Parsons!
Thank you! Thank you, everybody. What better way to spend my birthday than to play Dungeons and Dragons with my best friends?
Oh, we're so delighted that this is the way you're going to spend your birthday. But you don't get anything special. No, I'm just kidding.
All I want for my birthday is to not die.
I can't guarantee it.
We said happy birthday, Jessica. Okay, that's it.
You are getting something special right now from the audience. There are potatoes coming in. 2 of them from Uncle CW that specifically say happy birthday, Jessica. So thank you, Uncle CW, for those potatoes. We also got a potato from Bath Time Fun Duck.
Okay.
Wow.
Rubber ducky.
That's definitely Jeff.
Quack,
That's definitely directed towards Jeff.
Hey.
Exactly. All right. So the reason that we were talking about potatoes is because you, dear viewer, can support the show in real time. You can participate in our incredibly cool Team Force of Good versus Team Force of Evil tug of war, which we do every single episode. The winning team gets a card that will be in effect the entire next episode. Last week, Team Force of Good barely squeaked out a victory with, I think, 56%. And so there will be a Force of Good card, which I will not forget to read before we start the show. Right now, the Force of War is, because of those 3 potatoes, Team Force of Good, 100%. So you get potatoes and yams. The potatoes are good, yams are evil. There's also balloons. If you just want to throw us some applause, we appreciate those as well, and those contribute to the Force War too. So if you want to get your name shouted out, potatoes, and the applause works in the form of balloons. But our show also is supported through Patreon, and we are so grateful to have so many Patreon supporters. Now, I think at this moment, we are at 449 patrons. So Jessica's birthday is today, and it's 449 patrons. My birthday.
That's mind-blowing.
439, but okay.
439, excuse me. Okay, yes. 439. My birthday is August 1st. I believe, because I'm an optimist, that between Jessica's birthday and my birthday, we can hit 500 patrons.
What?
That is my challenge to you.
A Kanata challenge?
fans.
Okay.
Can we hit 500 patrons by my birthday, August 1st? I would be super delighted and thrilled. And so if you're on the fence about supporting the show, check out some of the cool perks. We have really, really cool perks for all the patron levels. And there's lots of different levels that you can check out. Some of the higher tiers include a DM stat sheets for characters that I've invented and thrown at the team. I just did the giant slug from back in the train from Dalto Thum to Vim Dor. They found that giant slug. I just put the stat sheet for that, talked about some of the insights into how that was made. We also have cast secrets. Ron did his cast secret this week. Ron, tell the folks what your cast secret was about.
Well, I talked a little bit about the speech that Uggo gave at the end of last episode, and just some insights on how that came about and what was going through my head when all that was happening, and some before and after stuff about that. So, some secrets and the insight into the behind-the-scenes stuff.
It's really cool.
I rambled for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we have those special secrets just for the higher tiers, usually one a week. We've also got an extra show, the Cool Down, that is every week for even lower tiers than that. So lots to check out, and I think we can make 500 patrons by August 1st.
Jeff, can I add something to that?
Are you going to add doubt to my?
No. That's a valid question because that's normally what I would do. That's kind of my job. No, if we get to 500, I have an extra copy of the Map of Ain. I would love to do a giveaway.
What?
To our
to a lucky patron?
Yeah, one lucky patron.
1 in 500 chance is pretty good chances.
Way better than the lottery.
Yeah, way better than the lottery. We also got some yams that just came in. One yam that says, happy birthday to Jessica. This is from the Cosmic Lord. Thank you, the Cosmic Lord. Happy birthday to Jessica. And a balloon from a jar full of bees. Thank you. Jar full of bees. So the war now is at 75% to 25%. We also have, there's been some setbacks about the new merch store. Just wanted to get you updated that we know we've been teasing new products. We've got those lined up. We're trying to make it all happen. But it's going to be a little longer than we thought. Everything takes longer than you think. So stick with us. We'll give you updates as we know them. But some cool news. Looks like our channel is going to host some other cool content. Morgan, tell the folks about that.
That's correct. This just in from some friends of ours over at GaryCon Live. Our channel, the lovely Dungeon Run channel, twitch.tv/dungeonrun, will be hosting a bunch of games. One of the many channels hosting games as part of GaryCon Live this weekend, including with friends of ours like Satine Phoenix and Jason Charles Miller, B. Dave Walters, Luke Gygax, some amazing names. Deborah Ann Wool and Joe Manganello are going to be playing in these games. So come visit our channel. I know, starting at noon Pacific time, both Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And this is part of Founders and Legends. It's also brought to you by Level Up Dice, who made these amazing raised obsidian dice. If you can't see, they're my warlock dice because they're like darkness. But yeah, that's happening this weekend. Come visit our channel this weekend and watch some amazing games with some amazing folks.
Yeah, and if you sub to our channel, you'll always get notifications of when we've got new content coming out. So that's a good idea as well. All right, let me tell you about the Team Force of Good card that is in effect this entire episode. This is submitted. You can submit cards. You don't even have to be a patron to submit cards. You can submit cards over on our website. This was submitted by FrogDude115, and it is called, Are You Sure? It says, before rolling a die, a player can choose to activate this card. Each player gets one activation. And if they roll below 10, they can roll again. But if they roll a natural 20, they also have to roll again. Woo! So this is any D20 roll. You get one. Each player gets one per this episode. So basically ensures that even if you roll below a 10, you get to re-roll it. But it means that if you roll a natural 20, then you'll also have to re-roll it.
And that's on the re-roll if you roll a natural 20?
No, that's the roll, right? It is if you roll it and it's above 10, you can keep the roll. But if you roll it and it's a 20, you can't keep the roll.
Basically, we can give 11 through 19.
Yeah. It's insurance. It's
Yes.
insurance. Yeah.
Okay,
Totally.
got it.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the card that is in effect all game
You know
long.
what? You know what that would have been really handy for?
Last week.
Saving throws. Wisdom saving throws.
Well, you're just taking it up with Team Force of Evil, who won last week.
Yeah.
Or the week before, I should say. All right. So let us. I think we've done everything. I never get everything, but I think we've done everything.
That feels like
means
everything.
We can light the torch. It started as a simple dungeon run. The plan was to delve into the abandoned lair of a dragon and escape with whatever treasure they could carry. Instead, these 5 adventurers found a magical item that catapulted them into an epic quest that could decide the fate of the world. It was the Secret Keeper's Amulet, a relic from a time known as the Ariat Age, when knowledge and prosperity flourished. And all of that came to an end 300 years ago when the War of Ideas ravaged the land. All knowledge was lost, and all memory of that time was wiped away. What remained were the mighty Wardens, 100-foot-tall elementals who ended the war and kept the peace in Ain ever since. But the Wardens have disappeared, captured and imprisoned by a shadowy cabal of Ain's cleverest and most cunning minds. When the team discovered the Secret Keeper's Amulet, it brought them into contact with the Natural Order, a conclave of wizards who had been investigating the disappearance of the Wardens. A wizard known as Torvald the Timid pointed them toward the ruins of a lodestar, a magical floating tower in the sky that served as a sanctuary for flying creatures of all kinds. They found it crashed and broken on the ground, and inside, its caretaker, a sky child named Diphtha, told them of a second lodestar still hovering in the clouds. It had been attacked, she said, and its caretaker, Garumtha, deposed by a mad scientist named Fardinald Urtenfurt. The heroes ascended the tower, defeated Urtenfurt, and freed the warden imprisoned inside. In doing so, they learned of the connection between the amulet and the wardens. The relic transported them into a vision of the warden's past, revealing secrets of a time no one can remember. To learn the truth, the team had to find and free the remaining wardens, held by other members of Urtenfurt's cabal. A cabal led by a powerful spellcaster named Calcutta Theed, the Ashen Mage. So they set out across the realms with the help of the Natural Order, locating wardens in some of the most dangerous locations in all of Ain. While they were away, orcs from Ukdun captured Torvald and Diphtha and used them as a bargaining chip to broker an alliance with the Orcs of Thorn. After the altercation that killed his father, Uggo was presumed dead, so his brother Brakka became War Chief in Thorn. Brakka's incessant rage prevented Thorn from allying with Ukdun, even as Ukdun tried to wage war with the dwarves. News that Uggo was alive meant that Brakka's hold on power was threatened, so he agreed to unify his forces with Ukdun in exchange for Torvald and Diphtha, bait to lure Uggo back to Thorn. The heroes of Bingle knew they had to rescue the wizard and the Sky Child. But first, they traveled to the Commorancy, a hidden research facility used by human scientists to observe the Orcs of Thorn. Lesliana, a researcher that Uggo referred to as Human Mama, had rescued Uggo after the fight with his father, nursed him back to health, and helped him learn to control his rage. Seeing him again, Lesliana begged Uggo not to return to Thorn. She knew that Brakka wanted to fight him to the death in the chamber the orcs referred to as the Underfury. It was the center of rage in Thorn, and the same place that Uggo had killed his father while his brother looked on. But when Uggo discovered that Brakka had cut down the sacred tree under which his orcish mother had been buried, he decided to march into Thorn and confront Brakka directly. The heroes of Bingle entered the Underfury, feeling waves of raw anger washing over them. They watched as Uggo fought Brakka in shallow water, pitting his newfound paladin light against Brakka's warlock darkness. But even as Uggo landed the finishing blow, rendering Brakka unconscious, a palpable sense of rage lingered. The orcs recognized Uggo as the new strongest in Thorn, the new war chief. But Uggo knew the worst still lay in wait. The team ventured deeper into the Underfury, emerging into a subterranean lake full of floating orcish bodies. Horrifying demon-orc hybrids called Tanaruk emerged from the water to attack in service of an enormous tentacled aboleth that lurked in the water. The aboleth enslaved Civ with its psychic powers and looked to be dominating the battle. Even Diphtha herself rose from the murky depths to assist the aboleth, pulling Uggo into the lake of bodies. Desperate to turn the tide, Fahima attempted a risky maneuver. Using a spell derived from a warden, Fahima transformed herself into pure liquid, merging with the water of the lake. Narrowly avoiding the aboleth's vile mucus cloud, she flowed into the creature's mouth and down its gullet. Then she dropped concentration on the spell, transforming back into a solid and immediately polymorphed into a huge crocodile, just as the aboleth began to digest her. The massive Crocohema burst from inside the aboleth, rending and tearing its flesh to oblivion. When the final Tanaruk was vanquished, with Lily and definitely not Civ landing the killing blow, the heroes turned to Diphtha, collapsed on the ground. She had regained her senses, but steel gray skin and a growth of white hair suggested a physical transformation that seemed permanent. She told them that Diphtha was no more, was past tense, and that she was now Diphthed, a creature who belonged underground. The team convinced her to accompany them back to the surface with Torvald. But as they emerged from the Underfury, they found all the orcs of Thorn assembled and waiting. The thrum of anger that had been the backbone of their society was gone, washed away with the destruction of the aboleth. Suddenly vulnerable and uncertain, they looked to Uggo to lead them. When Uggo spoke, his voice rang out clear and proud, and the orcs listened, acknowledging their new war chief and his vision of a different way forward for Thorn. That is where we will pick up this week, the aftermath of Uggo's speech to the orcs of Thorn. I will say we got a few more yams. We got 2 yams, in fact, from J Neofet 3.
Oh, Neofet.
Wow, thank you.
Great to see you, J Neofet 3. Thank you so much for that. We also got some balloons from Gateway Guy and Angel Devilson and Half Dose of Iodine.
Amazing.
Right now, that has brought the Tug of War to Team Force of Good 51%, Team Force of Evil 49%.
That was quick.
It is anybody's
Already.
game.
That was quick.
Yeah, wasting no time, Team Force of Evil. All right, so as we pick up our story, Uggo's speech has landed on this crowd, and there is acknowledgement, allegiance that has been declared for Uggo as war chief. And all of you standing there, really right at the entrance, at the sort of cave entrance to the Underfury. And the crowd starts to disperse. This massive assembly of all of the orcs of Thorn, they have seen what they came to see. They have gotten the message they came to get, and they start to disperse. There are some that linger, but you are left there watching Thorn kind of reconstitute itself under new rule, under Uggo as War Chief. And you have still in your charge Brakka, who is still experiencing these waves of excruciating pain. You see him like coughing up liquid, thick mucus liquid that comes out of his and he turns and looks at you, Uggo, and he says, "Nice speech, oh reluctant War Chief."
I'm knocking him out again.
Careful. We need to get him to the gates.
I don't trust that his words aren't going to summon some kind of black beast.
I think his power might be gone. I feel like the aboleth might have been what was giving him his magic, but I agree trusting him is not not what we should be doing. But we should
I'll tie him up just in case.
Okay.
All right, so you take some rope and you put his big, thick orcish arms, you tie him behind him.
Is my horse Viper handy? Is he nearby?
I mean, it was in that entrance that you had left the horse in that entrance to go deeper into the thing. But yeah, you're able to retrieve the horse for sure.
Can I, cowboy style, sling him over the top of my saddle?
Sure, yeah, like a sack of potatoes. Yeah,
totally. So are we going to go see this
easily?
priest? Is that the plan?
We're going to meet Lesliana and possibly some clerics from the Commorancy at the entrance.
I look at
Did you
Uggo.
say something, Fahima?
Well, I was just going to ask if there was anyone else we could ask about the Urgenfurt plans, because that seems like something we should ask about before we leave Thorn.
I don't think we're leaving long term. I just and honestly, I mean, James will start basically leading the horse towards the gate. I don't think we're leaving. We just need to make sure. I think there's more to do here. But I agree. I think that's a good idea. But Brakka is dying, and we need to do what we can about it.
Well, as you walk, if you're walking sort of away from that entrance, that long sloping sort of cave-like entrance that leads to the Underfury, you notice that Diphtha is hanging back and still standing sort of at the edge of that covered area.
Is Torvald with her?
I think Torvald would be staying with you. He's staying with whomever would protect him most.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Spoken like a true
Uggo
wizard.
pulls out the big hat that he had, wore in the 4 former forges. And he presents it to Diphtha. Maybe this keep you from sun.
I don't think the sun is the problem. I am no longer suited. I am no longer a child of the sky, and I never was meant for the surface.
Diphtha,
Yes.
are the Sky Child that you've met, do you think they're meant for the surface?
No. None of us were.
So you think they're
Always
all...
warned about touching the ground.
What were you warned about?
Vague terms, a curse. This. She holds up her arm, and it is this deep steel gray color. And this. And she runs her hands through the stubble of hair coming through that bald head, and it is all white.
But Diphtha, I'm struggling to see why this is a curse. It looks quite lovely on you. Well,
That is it, me. We are not meant for the surface. We were told. I'm afraid.
That's fair. You've been through a lot. Well, it feels like at this point, you don't have a lot of options, quite frankly. You're here at the surface now.
Down there. What I'm meant now.
But down there, what good will you do?
There are demons down there.
Wait. Do you mean that you physically change when you touch the ground? You are not speaking in metaphor?
I'm afraid not. I am a creature who belongs below now, drowned.
I do not understand when you say belongs. Why do you belong underground?
My entire life, as a sky child, we were told never, ever to set foot on the ground. Such was our curse. And so we stayed in the sky, surfacing those who flew, creatures of all kinds, on the lodestars, soaring above the ground we knew we could never touch. But I now see what happens to a sky child.
Is your mind different? Do you feel different in your brain?
Darker. There was an anger, but that has subsided. I do not know who I am anymore.
Was because you were here.
I am confused.
Diphtha, what was the beginning of the Sky Children? Who was the first?
What was the beginning of you?
Well, I was hoping once you rested up a bit, I could actually talk to you about that. Thinking back on our first conversation, how you immediately knew that I was not human.
You're special, aren't you?
I would love to know where I came from. I was hoping you would have a bit more information on that.
My point is that none of us really know where we come from, right? At a certain point. All I know is that even my skepticism about touching the ground is proven unfounded, because the truth is that I am changed. I am cursed. And I don't know what happens next.
Is a butterfly cursed?
Do not feel like a butterfly.
A moth, then?
No.
James. Well, really anyone.
James has started walking with the horse and Brakka on it towards the gate. He's pretty driven to get him towards the gate.
Fahima.
Yes?
Yeah, I would be with you then.
If Diphtha is now Diphthed, then Ashen Mage was Skychild.
Perhaps. But
Her name
correlation is not
Calcutta
necessarily causation.
It
Right.
seems that she says when fall, they change. She says now she is Diphthed, yes?
Well, who's to say that the Theeds didn't come first? Perhaps the Theeds turned into Thuz, and when they come back down, they return to Theeds. I don't know.
Uggo think maybe Sky Children, descendants of Cyclone Warden.
It's interesting that you haven't heard of the Cyclone Warden, Diphthed.
No.
I'm also wondering, you heard me spoke Elvish to you earlier. My dad spoke it at home. I've always understood it as a dead language. Why would he have learned that?
Your father spoke our tongue.
Yes, at home, just casually, just second language.
I don't know. I never knew it as Elvish, but it is my native tongue.
Is it spoken by anyone other than the Drow and the Sky Children?
I've only spoken it to other sky childs, to other creatures of the sky. But I don't know where else it may be spoken. It is a revelation to me that you speak it, but I sensed something the first moment I touched you. Something about you. Don't know what it is. Now everything in my mind is all jumbled and wrong, changed.
What we're trying to do is understand why you feel changed, why you feel less than or cursed, while not invalidating your feelings, because you're allowed to feel that way. We really just want to understand, and we want you to be as bright as you once were.
Uggo felt cursed, but then found Candle Queen.
I'm happy to hear that you have found some purpose for yourself, and I used to have that too. In the sky.
Diphtha, sorry. I think perhaps some of these questions might be easier answered after a nice long night's sleep. I presume you haven't been sleeping too well in the depths.
So many questions.
It was not myself.
With a bunch of the floating orcs in it. It's not like ideal sleeping conditions.
Can I just ask one more question? Sorry.
That's okay.
Do you, sorry, Diphtha, is that alright with you?
Yes.
Do you know of the Aarakocra?
Of course.
Okay.
They fly.
They don't speak Elvish, though.
That I know of. I've never spoken to an Aarakocra that could speak my language.
Because I have some information that my own father spent some time with the Aarakocra, so I was wondering if perhaps that was the connection there.
Many lodestars exist over the mountains of Pash, the highest peaks of which the Aarakocra live in.
Have you ever made your way towards Pash?
I have soared over it.
Do you just... I ask everyone. Do you happen to know of Conroy Tig? I don't know if I asked you a while back, but...
I do not know that name.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I was going to burst open if I didn't ask you that.
Your friends are quite a ways ahead now. I will follow, though it seems like the wrong thing to do. But if you require it.
I only think that if you trust us to perhaps make a decision for your well-being, it's totally your decision to allow us to do that as more of a subjective party here. But otherwise, we will honor whatever request you have.
Where's Torval?
He's up with
them.
Well, whoever's keeping him the safest, probably next to Civ and James. Walking with the horse.
Lily.
Yes?
Do you know anything about leading?
Leading?
Yeah, like systems of government and how to make sure that other orcs don't destroy each other when there's a power vacuum.
Well, I guess on a minor scale, a management of the bar, but it's a little bit lower stakes, perhaps. But it's similar concepts, making sure everybody feels valued and also is a good worker and also respects, the shifts put in place by the main boss, and that also the managers feel like they have autonomy to make decisions with their employees and feel valued. And also the lower level employees feel valued, that they can come to their managers if they have complaints or feel uncomfortable, which I think is really good to establish that kind of, base.
Could you go slower so I can write this down?
Oh, sorry. I felt like that was kind of like an interview, and I needed to prove to you that I knew what I was talking about.
Oh no, the interview has happened for many days now, so I just You
Like a
have
secret
proven...
interview?
Well, no, I'm
Uggo,
just saying
you're
you...
genius.
Thank you.
What a good way to interview people, because interviews are really weird. They make people feel nervous, even if they shouldn't be. It's not ideal for anyone. And the way you did it, great job. What job am I interviewing for?
Leader.
Oh, of what?
Well, of the family. Are you not leader of family?
Oh, I don't.
Has Uggo totally read this situation wrong?
I feel like we kind of passed the leader.
Well, yes, but we always all come back to you.
Sometimes. Thank you. I
Well, that is true. Sometimes we don't listen to you, and that's when we fail.
well, not necessarily. Not all my ideas are good.
Well, that is true.
Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate the honest feedback. It's important to know.
Well, you said it. I just agreed.
I know.
None of Uggo's ideas good.
No,
So,
that
good
is
for you.
not true. You have lots of good ideas.
Hmm.
Do you think we should catch up? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just torn between Brakka and Thorn.
Well, let's walk behind James and let's talk about it. We don't have to leave Thorn.
No, but... Now we are enemy of Ukdun. Yes?
Presumably. Well, you were in a war with Ukdun, correct?
Oh,
But-
for a long time.
Ideally, the idea of a war is that it comes to an end.
I don't know if we were in war with Ukdun because we were so angry, or if Ukdun just wanted to war.
Well, perhaps it's because you were too similar. And sometimes when you're so similar to someone, it comes off as, jealousy or it causes tension. But really what it is you have a lot of mutual interests, and maybe what's war should just really be respect.
I think Uggo has an idea, but
Okay.
he's afraid it may sound silly to others.
Well, Uggo, it's hard to sound silly to me.
Uggo think we should call Moot.
Moot?
Yes. Call leaders to one place. Discuss problems.
I think that's a great idea.
Ukdun. Orcs. All orcs. Both sides. All dwarves. Humans.
Yes. Well,
The
ultimately,
Duke. The Duck Duke. The Duck?
Duck? The Duke.
The Duke.
The Duke who was a duck, but now he's back to a Duke.
Yes.
He went Duke, Duck, Duke.
Also should call Turles.
So like
But
a
need
meeting
to settle
of the...
things there first.
Yeah, maybe we wait on that one for a sec. So a meeting of the leaders
Yes.
of all the places that have been in conflict.
Try to end war.
Well, I think if you have a war and you're not trying to end it, then what's the point? Then you don't really care about your people. If you're not trying to end it. And I think you as a leader, though it might be hard to get people on board because it is a different strategy and people don't like change. I've learned that after we changed the happy hour menu at Bingle and loving it, and people were up in arms even though ultimately it was better for everybody. But it takes a minute, to get people on board with things. So
That
I
is
think
my
it's a
biggest
great
worry
idea.
with Uggo as war chief.
What?
Take a minute to get used to things.
Yeah, well, that's life. So, you got to get used to that. Because ultimately, if we stay comfortable for too long, we're not growing, right? So we got to push our boundaries a little bit to grow and learn more.
Uggo wants to establish Center of Science.
Okay.
Use information that Fahima has learned.
Oh, I think that's a great idea, Uggo. Why do you think these sound silly?
Not Thorn orcs. going to reject. Don't want to fight anymore. Not with orcs.
Well, I do think we're going to have to find a way to frame it for an orc.
Put in picture frame? Like write on paper and put in middle of city?
Possibly. What I meant, though, is like, if you were Uggo back before Uggo had traveled with this family, and I came, and say I was War Chief, just try, and you hadn't learned all the things that you've learned on the road, and I said, hey, let's get all of the leaders together and talk it out, I'm guessing you probably wouldn't be super excited about that. You would think it was going to fail.
No, it would work. It would just, they'd all get together and one of us would kill all the others and there'd be one of us left.
Right.
Then ruler.
So, but the point of what I was trying to do, you would not agree with, which is trying to get everybody to get along. Yeah.
No.
So I'm saying Uggo, here's the thing. Let's put it this way. You have learned a lot. You are a very smart and advanced being because you've pushed yourself outside of your home and of your comfort zone, and you've met other people and encountered other experiences. So you have to teach all of these orcs as a leader. Now, you, Uggo, with all this knowledge you've learned, you have to teach them all the things you've learned about acceptance, about community, about family, about working together as a team, about sacrifice, everything.
A competition with brother makes stronger both individuals.
This is the moment as you are walking forward when the screaming starts.
From who?
James and Civ are up ahead with Torvald, the horse with Brakka on it. The two of you walking and talking, having that conversation, and Fahima lagging a bit behind, waiting for Diphtha to be able to make her first step out of this subterranean chamber. And she looks very reluctant to do so, but looks at Fahima, nods, and takes one reluctant step, a second reluctant step, and starts to smile and move forward. And then, Fahima, you see her face change into fear and shock and anguish. And she starts to scream. It's a blood-curdling scream that rings out across the entire road that leads to the Underfury. All of you can hear it. And she immediately falls to the ground, grabbing, digging her fingers into the soil, into the cobblestone, the dirt around each stone, trying to hold on, but she's being pulled underneath the ground, as if the earth itself is swallowing her whole.
Uggo!
And she's
grab her!
screaming, being pulled underneath the ground. This horrible crunching sound as her body is swallowed.
What? Can I try to grab her before she's sucked under?
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, Jeff, I'd
all
also...
too far ahead of
Yeah,
her. She's that far
as
back.
soon as she starts screaming
have-
and running towards her.
Advantage from Gateway guy.
Oh, thank God. I just rolled a 5.
Don't forget the force good.
Oh, that's right.
You have to choose before the roll, right?
You have to choose before.
the roll.
Okay. That's a 13.
13, you grab onto her arm and you hold it, but she's being pulled by something. You can see her face right in front of you, this gray cobalt colored skin, your hand wrapped around it, your golden arm and her steel gray arm holding there. She's looking at you and she says, I don't belong. And she gets pulled underneath the ground.
Oh my God!
As Uggo runs up to Fahima. Fahima!
She just got sucked under the ground. It was so quick. I tried to.
The thing that you can make go underground. You should go.
Yes. Okay. I'll take out the belt and try to make my way down. Past her. Just to see if I can follow her.
You take out the belt.
Alone?
What?
Reform.
Alone?
Well, I mean, it's a hole. I'll leave the hole open so you can.
Okay.
So you start deforming the soil and dirt, the cobblestones each all move. You see that crunching sound as you start imagining the direction that you'd like to go, and the soil starts reforming itself all around you. Bits of it flying up, moving around.
I pull Uggo with me. Come on!
I guess we're going.
All right, so again, this is a process that is slow, and you saw her move very fast. But you remember it the last time you did it, it was slow and methodic. And you get the sense that that is part of how this belt works, but also if you were more experienced with it, perhaps you could do it better. But the idea is that this is slow and methodical. Uggo, you're standing there with Fahima, you see her concentrating, you see the belt vibrating and kind of glowing in her hands, the gem at the center of it, at that belt, that strange stone gem in the center, vibrating and humming, and everything is deforming and moving around you until you are shoulder deep, neck deep, head deep, all this hole that you've created. Which direction do you want to go, Fahima?
Straight down.
Straight down? Okay, you still go, the hole gets deeper. You're going farther and farther down. The rest of you out in front with the horse, you see Brakka's body start to squirm as another 10 minutes have gone by, and another tick of that excruciating pain that he's experiencing.
Oh my God.
Do you want to go, and I will take him to the priests?
Yes. Yes. Is there any other orc guards around? Anybody?
There's definitely orc citizens that are, as I said, they've sort of dispersed and gone back to their normal day activities, but there's certainly orcs within eyesight. Eyeshot.
Okay. Yes. I'll follow them. All
right, Jeff, I'm gonna get on the horse instead of just draping him over the top of it. I look over at Torvald. Sorry, and I just ride.
Come with me.
Torvald turns and goes, "My gosh, I'm going with you."
You're coming with me. And I'm pulling out the tome again, by the way, and writing a quick sending to Lesliana. Look for Civ on horseback, injured man in need of great healing. And gathering Lily and Torvald and heading back towards this hole that Fahima and Uggo were creating.
You feel the response in your book, simply 3 words, is Uggo alive?
Yes, Uggo is alive. He is War Chief now, but Brakka is dying.
Okay. That sends out, you see the where the script that you write disappear right behind you, and you start going toward this enormous hole that is open, and a bunch of orcs that were kind of milling about and kind of looking to see Uggo and what their war chief was going to do next, and not exactly returning to their daily lives, are now all gathered around looking down this enormous hole that has appeared right at the front of the entrance to the Underdark. The Underfury.
So it's right in front of the entrance. So do I get the sense?
Yeah, she made out just a few steps out of this cave entrance, this sort of ramping hole in the ground that leads down into the Underfury. She'd only made a few steps out of that, and then it was.
Lily, I think maybe if we run back to the depths, maybe that's where maybe whatever took her, that's where it's taking her.
Okay, let's try it. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know what else to do. I can't dig a hole that fast.
Uggo, we'll meet you down there. We're going the other way. All right, and then rushing, grabbing Torvald and running back down through the Underfury, headed to the Underchamber.
I prefer not to go back to. Okay. And they, all of you start running down, or the 3 of you start running down the ramp as Fahima and Uggo continue. Just this enormous noise of Uggo. You stand there and you watch rock and stone and soil move on its own accord, reconstituting itself, coming from beneath you, like creating this hole and reforming all around you, creating walls, creating this almost vertical tunnel down as Fahima continues to concentrate on this action. You are going deeper and deeper and deeper.
Uggo, I think she's going too fast.
We are headed to the Underfury.
Do you think that, as rock and dirt is crumbling around here, do you think that that's what sucked her down?
I don't know. It seems to be caused by this curse. I don't know what causes the curse, though.
I don't know if we should keep going.
We can always return.
Sorry, we have a gold potato from Angel Devilson 1 that came in just a few minutes ago. I didn't want to miss it.
Thank you.
As you were going, James and Lily and Torvald are running. You guys are running down the thing. You recognize those slick walls that you saw now dried. That sort of tacky mucus is almost completely receded now. There's just bits of it in the corners at the bottom of the cave. You're running down. You feel this sort of rumble, clearly caused by whatever Fahima and Uggo are doing. But you continue to run, heading back down that first chamber where Uggo faced Brakka. And meanwhile, Fahima and Uggo, you are moving, and then all of a sudden, a hole opens up beneath you, and you both fall into open air.
Oh no!
It was a big cavern. Remember?
That's right. So as you fall, I was waiting for you to say I cast Featherfall, but you may not have it prepped. So as you fall, you tumble backwards.
I probably don't.
As you tumble backward, splash! You both land in the water, bodies around you. You are, again, Uggo, submerged bubbles. You see Fahima splash next to you, both of you, with bodies all around you, these orcish bodies. Uggo, you've been in this water one time before. Fahima, you've been the water. But it is no less unpleasant to be back there again in this massive underground chamber. Having fallen what must have been 30 feet in open air.
Uggo's gonna start looking to see if Diphtha is anywhere nearby.
All right, so you swim to the surface, come up over the course of the water, and you look, and there standing on the shoreline is this figure of dark gray, just standing there motionless on the edge, at the edge of the water.
Diphtha, are you okay?
She looks up at you, and she sees you both sort of floating in the water there, treading water. I don't belong on the surface anymore. That's about the time that James and Lily and Torvald bust into the room, and they see the same sight. As you come around that corner, down that long corridor, you see your friends farther out in the water, amidst these bodies that are bumping up against you, chunks of aboleth flesh still there on the surface, and this figure between the two of you, standing motionless.
Just what's her stance? Is it aggressive, or is she?
No, she's just standing motionless.
Uggo, can't you call upon the Candle Queen to break this curse or something?
I'm sure. I don't know if it's just like, hey, help me. I could certainly try to do some sort of ritual.
Diphtha. I'll be kind of like making my way around her in a semicircle, keeping my distance a little bit, but kind of like trying to because she's facing the water, correct?
Yeah, she's facing the water. She turns and notices you come in. She's not ignoring you. She's not acting aggressive. She's just
all right,
still and calm and resigned almost.
This place doesn't seem to want to let you go.
I do not believe it is this place alone.
You came from underwater. You said you were drowned. What's under there?
Not drowned in the water. Drowned in the earth.
Right. when you... One of the bodies that were laying in the water told me that that creature, the aboleth, came from somewhere deeper. Do you know anything of that?
She looks toward the water. All things come from deep below.
Listen, do you want to leave this place?
Yes.
Okay.
I may have to find my own way.
Listen,
She turns and looks farther down the chamber, where nooks and crannies and crevices of this big cavern seem dark and mysterious.
I'm gonna gesture towards Torvald to come to her, like in a comforting way, I hope.
He walks down closer to you. This is most unusual.
Stay here with her, would you please?
Where are you going?
Just gonna have a look, and I'll look at Uggo and wade into the water.
You push past floating forms, limb, chunk of something. You are waist deep, standing in that water.
You spoke to dead.
I did. There is
What did he say?
That there's something below this, and that's where that thing came from.
Worse than this?
I don't know. Old things.
What are you going to do?
I can't see very well down there, but Uggo, you want to take a dive with me?
How are we going to breathe?
We'll come back. I'm not saying we go forever.
I could turn you into water.
Oh. For how long?
An hour?
Oh.
Yeah. You can swim 50 feet every 6 seconds, and the only thing is you can't talk or pick up things or cast any spells. But you could certainly look and explore. It'd be quite dark, though.
I don't like splitting us up even further.
I can turn you into an octopus or fish as well.
Okay.
Better sight with those.
Yeah, turn me into a fish.
Really? Really?
A smart fish. An octopus is good. Let's try that.
Octopus. Okay.
I seem to be drawn to tentacles anyway, so let's give it a shot.
Oh, I do have one more 5th level spell slot. Great. We're just
Amazing.
going to completely... I'll be just as tired as Uggo over here.
Oh, yes. Well...
That is why I did not cast Featherfall when we fell.
You? Did I know you had Featherfall?
He saved us in that one fight when we fell off the back of a... Yeah.
Oh. Alright, how about, we got giant seahorse, reef shark, I'm sure there's...
Did you say seahorse?
Yes.
So Uggo could ride James for once?
If you can hold your breath for that long.
Good point.
I'm sure there's octopus in here too, if you want.
Okay, alright. Turn me into an octopus. I think they have a slightly higher brain capacity than your average fish.
Giant octopus, yes, there we go.
3.
Perfect.
Octopus has intelligence 3.
Great!
That's inaccurate. They are much more intelligent than that.
What is your
The raw, baby.
I just want to take a look. Whatever is here is deeply invested in Diphtha, and Shothragod is curious about it as well.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Be careful.
I promise I won't do anything without you. I promise.
James does.
Especially-
This octopus doesn't.
Well, also, please include dying in that. Don't die without me there.
Copy.
Okay, so she'll run up and give him a big hug. and cast polymorph on him.
And as you hold him in this hug, you feel his body soften and arms flop out of him. You feel his head get rounder and more bulbous, and he just kind of falls through your hands, your arms, and lands on the ground.
We need some Squid James fan art. So
I think we might need some art of this.
James
Okay.
Squidless.
Nice. And as fast as I can, I will down into the water.
All right, so you see the squid disappear into the water. Meanwhile, Civ, you are galloping fast on this horse with the body on the back of the horse, moving down through the long road into the center of Thorn that you all entered through, and you get to the front gates, those massive gates that are covered with pelts that mark the front entrance of Thorn, and you nod to one of the attendants there to open the gate, and it creaks open, and you now see beyond the front of the barrier that prevents people from entering the city.
Sure. Do I see any druids or clerics?
Roll me a perception check. You have advantage from Baron Bojangles.
Baron Bojangles. I got a 16.
You scan the tree line, the bushes, all of the vegetation that's out in front of this basically big sort of forested land that is butted up against the front of Thorn, and you don't see any movement, but you know it would have taken them a while to get here.
True.
So you may just have beaten them there. On the back, you hear Brakka moaning a bit. Me off this beast.
Shut up or I will hit you again. I'm gonna ride out.
All right.
I wanna try to find Lesliana.
Okay.
So I'll just ride out towards the direction of where I know their encampment is. What time of day is it right now?
It's pretty late in the day, if I remember correctly. I could have the timing completely wrong, to be honest with you. It's been. I think
is the sun in the sky? I guess is my question.
Yes, but it is setting. We're heading into dusk, but you are riding fast. I think you guys arrived at Thorn very early in the morning.
Yeah,
so, I think we arrived at. I think we left the Comorancy first thing this morning and arrived at Thorn around midday. So it would be pretty late.
Yeah. So as you're riding, the sun's setting in the sky, and you are moving through this thicket. Guiding the horse toward the direction that you remember, south, actually, toward where the Comorancy was.
Right.
Roll me another perception check on the way. You have advanced. Oh, no, we already used that one. Straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Better. I think that's a 19 or 20. Hold on. 20. Dirty 20.
All right. So you scanning in front of you and trying to maintain your speed while also keeping an eye out for any movement ahead of you. You see things here and there, and then you spot out in front of you a large, looks like a doe, a big, large deer that seems to have a person on the back of it, holding on for dear life.
Perfect. I'll stop.
Not gonna miss that.
I'm assuming the person is not Lesliana, but that's the cleric.
Yes, it's a human that is holding on, wearing the similar smock that you saw all of the scientists at the Comorancy wear. But this is this beautiful doe, this like gorgeous, majestic deer, and this guy like holding onto the back of it.
Okay. Is this a pretty like open, clear area that we're in, or?
No, it's wooded. It's wooded. It's pretty unkept thicket, right? You're in the sort of the wooded area outside of Thorn, south of Thorn.
I'm just gonna hail. It is Sivrak, and I'll gesture to the cleric and the deer, and then I'm gonna take the horse a little off to the side so that I can toss the reins on a branch or a tree, and then I'll pull Brakka off and lay him down in front of the tree.
All right. And you see the the fellow on the back of the deer tap it a couple of times, and the whole unit of them turns and sees you, and then he sort of jumps off and stumbles a bit and gets to his feet just as the doe transforms into Lesliana. You see her white hair
so cool
flowing down. Yeah, her not auburn and grayed hair. And they turn.
Come quickly. He is not doing well.
I see that. Interfering in this way is very much against what we believe in, right, Adnim?
That's right, but we've determined that in this situation, you perhaps do need the help.
Yes, so just so you know...
Do you wish to let him die? I'm
No,
confused.
we do not wish to let him die. We wish to let things progress as they would, and we wish to observe them. But
Okay,
in this
so we will just
situation-
sit here and watch him die then.
You see Brakka.
Don't let me die. Let me die.
And Lesliana says, this is actually Brakka.
Yes, Uggo said, well, everyone agreed that he should stand trial, but because he has been removed from his powers, I think he is dying. I think he is either diseased or cursed or something, poison. I don't know. I am not a healer. And I look over at the cleric.
You see her, Lesliana, just sweating and like disheveled. She's out of sorts. She's, this is not the kind of thing that she does day to day, running out and sprinting and carrying someone on her back and running this distance. And you see her nod to this healer, and he walks over and he says, all right, in the name of science. And he puts his hands on Brakka.
I'm holding Brakka down because I don't want him doing anything shady. In fact, I'm going to search him real quick to make sure that he doesn't have anything on him that he could use. I don't know what that would be.
Roll me an
Dagger, poison,
investigation
whatever.
check. Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Straight roll.
I'd gotten the earring off him at one point, but that was all I
Right.
was looking for at the time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure he doesn't have like a dagger in his boot or something like that. 21.
21, you find a dagger, and in fact, it smells rancid, as if it has been dipped in some solution or other.
Is it poison?
I think you would probably, as somebody who has now experimented with poisons even recently, I think
I'm
you'd be
taking
able
that.
yeah, you'd be able to determine that it is in fact a poisoned tipped dagger.
Cool.
There's an oil that has been applied on it. It seems to be very dangerous.
If there's like a sheath or something in his boot, I'm going to take that too to kind of keep it from drying out. Otherwise, I'll just put it in one of my empty sheaths.
And you see this magic user, this healer, stand over Brakka and speak words that you have never heard before in a tongue that sounds strange, but a strange glow starts to emit from his very center, and his eyes sort of roll back in his head, and you see Brakka, the skin that had been so dry and flaky and thin and oil, almost a translucent before, starts to clear up, starts to return to that greenish, orcish hue that you would expect as a twin of Uggo. And you see it all start to transform, and that sickness, that illness, that frailness that he had start to recede. And he turns and he goes,
It is all gone now. All of it. Everything that made me. Me.
Yes, you lost.
Yeah. So why am I not dead?
Because Uggo said not to kill you.
And you follow the new War Chief of Thorn?
No, he is my friend. He asked me not to kill his brother. So I don't kill you. I would have killed you a long time ago. You are a horrible person.
All of you are cowards. That is what I hear.
That is the same thing that Uggo calls me. You are definitely brothers. I'm going to sit down next to him and put my arm around him. So tell me something. What was it like to grow up with Uggo as brother? Was he a prick?
Yes,
or was he
insufferable.
This I thought, yes.
Always the strongest, the fastest, the funniest.
And I am assuming that you did or did not get along with him when you were growing up, and that your mother and father were mean to you. Is this true?
My father was War Chief, and he had more power and responsibility than you can even dream of. He did what needed to be done, unlike you. You are kind, weak, sniveling. What do you intend to do with me?
I do not intend to do anything with you. I think Uggo thinks that you should stand trial in front of your peers.
I would like to take a few readings of him, if that is acceptable to you.
Sure, do whatever you wish.
Thank you. And she takes out a
I have a
tape
question
measure.
for your friend here. Which god, I'm going to put you on the spot, Jeff. Which god is he a priest of? I've never seen anything like this. Sun coming from his chest.
I cast magic not as a devotee of a particular god, but as a investigator of all the gods from a scientific perspective. The gods have power, and there are certain triggers that allow you to tap into it. I can borrow what is needed at the time, as long as I do not violate any of the precepts of the god. I pick and choose as I need, because I do not really worship any of them.
So you steal from the gods?
Yes, one way to put it, I suppose, but it is respectful and clearly in a clinical manner, a scientific approach to utilizing the resources that we have available to us.
All of the gods?
Well, the gods that we have deemed safe.
I see. So you don't steal from the evil gods, just the good gods.
Well, good and evil seem to be constructs of a morality tale that we are not interested in participating in. There is simply dangerous gods and those whom we can use for our own purposes.
Yes, I have devoted much of my study to how I can utilize energy that is often channeled through worship for my own purposes.
I have a question for you then. Can you make it so that someone cannot remember? So they can not remember something from their past?
I do not believe I have that power.
No, I think we are not able to help you in that regard, but I am fascinated as to why you would request it.
I was just curious.
You know, part of why I do what I do is to understand how all of us in Ein can't remember.
Sometimes it is best if you do not remember.
My opinion is that knowledge is never a bad thing. But I understand that perhaps for you, there are things that cause pain. And I respect that.
What are we to do with this former war chief?
I will take him back so that he can stand trial or whatever it is Uggo wishes to do with him.
I'm fascinated as to the turn of events.
You want to come?
I dare not, but I would like a full report.
He is war chief. You can come. They won't do anything to you now.
I will kill you as soon as I get the chance.
I am intrigued. I will follow you. Are you going back to Thorn now?
Yes. In fact, our friend could possibly use your help as well. She was sucked underground into the Underfury.
Oh my. That does not sound like a desirable outcome.
It is a demonic hellhole filled with abyssal creatures. Come, let's go, come. And I'm gonna throw Brakka back up on top of the horse so that he's still tied up just like before. In fact, I'm gonna redo some of those ropes to make sure they're extra tight now that he's got some strength back.
All right.
And then I'll pop back up on top of Viper, give him some kibble, some horsey snacks, and then look over at Lesliana and the new cleric buddy and see if they want to go, if they're ready to go.
Lesliana turns to the other guy and she says, Adnim, perhaps you should return and...
No, he should come. He should
come.
come too, in case we need more of his spells.
I do not want the Commorancy to be unaware of our location. I did not tell anyone that we would be entering the grounds of Thorn, and everything must be recorded.
It is fine. It is safe now.
It is most certainly not fine. Adnim, please, I believe you can make your way back on foot.
I don't know. There are demons in these woods. I don't know if it is smart for him to go walking off on his own. I'm just saying, it is your choice. You'll probably be eaten, your face ripped off, something horrible done to your innards. I've seen it done before.
Lesliana, he makes a good point. roll me a persuasion check.
Yes.
Advantage from Fail Waffle.
Oh, thank you,
Fail
Waffle. Persuasion. 22.
All right, so everybody hops on the horse, and you start galloping off. It's a little bit tight with 3 full-size medium humanoids.
Yeah, I might let does he know how to ride a horse? The Adnim.
It did not look like that was the case.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'll at least let him sit on top of the horse, and because I don't want to crush Viper. So I'll run alongside the horse and essentially grab Viper's reins and lead them back.
All right. So as you head back, we will return. James, you are now in octopus form with an octopus's intelligence.
I just want to say I'm all in. I just want to say I'm all in on the Civ Brakka buddy movie. So,
of course, it would be a buddy movie with my evil twin brother.
yeah.
First, we go drinking, then we come up with a plan.
I'm calling the studios right now to start pitching.
Fantasy Midnight Run. Yeah. All right, Midnight Dungeon Run, I should say.
That's there it is.
Okay, so as an octopus with an octopus's intelligence, you swim deeper and deeper. It is dark and murky, and you leave this sort of layer of bodies and chum in the water and swirl down. The tentacles swept back in this sort of torpedo formation, and you are moving in this twirling, swirling, fast progression deeper into the water. And
am I able to tell when I'm beyond the chamber? Is there like does it narrow down into like a cavern into
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
And you it takes a few seconds before, and you're moving at great speed, with your ability as an octopus.
Am I an octopus or a giant octopus, Jessica?
Giant.
Ah, okay.
If you
well,
want. If you want,
no,
yeah.
I'll take it. I'm 1 point smarter.
Giant octopuses are already big, so.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I have a swim speed of 60 feet a turn, so yeah, 120 dashing right on through.
So as a giant octopus, there's a point at which, yes, you get to the what seems to be the bottom, but there seems to be a crevice here that you actually have to squeeze yourself through. A octopus able to compress its body and move, if you choose to, even deeper.
Yeah, I'm going.
And you feel the temperature change. You're now the octopus body even registering that. It's not uncomfortable for you in that form, but it is something that you acknowledge and understand as the water gets colder as you go deeper, and there are craggy rocks on either side of you. You're sort of beneath even this large reservoir or lake, and you are down.
So
it's silent.
The smaller crag that I made my way through was definitely not aboleth sized then.
That's correct. That's correct. At this point, it is not aboleth size. That's correct.
Okay. Yep. Keep going.
All right. And you swim silence for a long time. You are moving. Time is passing, and you are just swimming. Until finally, you get down deep. You see something that tingles recognition in the back of your James brain. You are an octopus, you have an octopus's mind, but there is some tingle in the back of your head of recognition. You see a shape down there at the bottom. This monolith with a symbol on the front. Symbol that looks like a circle tilted, line struck through it.
Is it giving off energy like the one underneath the lighthouse?
Seems to be a rumble around it in the water, just sort of almost a vibration that your octopus senses and register. But there's no glow, there's no hum, there's just sort of this like vibration.
I will basically tread water for a moment and like try to sense if there's anything or else around, but because I want to go closer to investigate it, but
you can roll me a perception check with your giant octopus perception. You have advantage from J Neophet 3, countered by change box.
Thank you both. Only a 9.
Yeah. It's strange down here. There is an absence of things. You don't see bits of anything floating in the water. It's just sort of dark. And you're not able to really get a sense of whether or not anything else is down here with you, but it certainly seems like the water itself that's immediately in front of you is strangely pure, strangely there's no
particulates.
Exactly. Nothing floating in it.
I know I'm not very smart.
Maybe is what it is.
Yeah, I know I'm not very smart. Am I aware of how long it's been?
I think you would have a sense that an octopus can supposedly, according to 5e rules, hold its breath for half an hour. So it has not been that long.
Got it.
It's only been a few minutes of you.
For hold its a giant octopus can, while out of water, the octopus can hold its breath for an hour, but it can breathe.
Yes,
it can breathe as long as it wants for underwater.
Of course, yeah, that makes total sense, and I don't know why I misread that.
It's okay.
The flip-flop.
Yes,
obviously. Okay, so yeah, it's been several minutes. The speed at which you went under means that you went down quite a ways, but it's really only been a few minutes.
Okay, I would like to then swim close to this obelisk and just investigate it as best I can. Is it made of stone?
Roll me an investigation check. You have advantage from kitty scritches.
This is going to be interesting with my 4 intelligence at the moment.
Yeah.
I have advantage, so I'll take the advantage. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a 12. It's a 12.
Well, with your minus 3.
15 minus 3.
Okay.
Okay.
You are. It does look like it is made of some material resembling stone, but it does not look like the stone that is around you as the sort of the surface of this underwater area. It doesn't look like it's made of the same material that you saw at the bottom of the lake or that was down the sides of this crevasse that you have gone down through. It looks like it's made of something foreign to this area.
You only described the one symbol, the symbol of the abyss, so the sun and moon symbols are not above it as they were on the previous one?
That's correct.
Okay. Anything else around the base? Anything else? How big is it? Ish.
I would say about 7 feet. It's like 7-8 feet tall, maybe 3 or 4 feet wide.
Anything else of note as I swim, and I'll take 5-10 minutes to fully kind of run my tentacles along it, make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah, I mean, as you rub your tentacles along it as a squid, there's definitely some sensation of wrongness to it, something that is disconcerting to you even at your low intelligence. It's a strange feeling. You rub your tentacles along it, your little suction cups, pressing up again and moving, that undulation that tentacles can do, and you feel something that makes you not want to touch it for very long.
Is there anything else in the chamber that I can tell?
No.
No other exits
this thing
or
at
entrances?
the bottom, this strange monolith that sits at the bottom of the trench.
Okay. I'll head back.
All right. You start swirling back up through the chamber.
Okay.
Everybody else who's still standing on the surface, Lily, Uggo, Fahima, you are waiting as this octopus has been gone for several minutes out of view.
Well, I guess we just wait for him then.
How long do we wait?
Till he comes back.
I mean, at what point did one of us also have to get turned into an octopus on an octopus?
How long does polymorph last?
That's the thing. I can't really turn anybody else into anything or turn into water quite tapped unless I take a nap. Yeah.
How long does a polymorph last?
An hour.
If he doesn't come back in an hour, then we should assume he is dead.
Okay.
And then go looking for his body.
Okay. I don't.
He promised that he will return. What is everyone worried about?
Just the fact that there's probably a evil
It's just
demonic
that, like,
power at the bottom of the lake.
You
Get
think
into a
Shothergot's
lake
gonna let
full-
that thing die? You think it's gonna let him die?
I hope not. It's just he is in a lake full of dead bodies. Which is usually like sign number 1 to not go in the water.
I trust James.
I do too.
Then
But
I will not.
sometimes-
Then why are you worried about him?
Because James doesn't know what's down there. And I think it's fair that we can still be worried and trust him at the same time.
Yes. Agreed.
But for now, we'll remain optimistic that he's just octopusing around down there and we'll be back soon.
bubbles come up, and there's a squid that rises to the surface of the water.
Is that one James?
I think it has to be.
It's got a worried look on its face, so it's definitely James.
How do we unmorph him again? Do we have to?
Oh, I think he can just drop it if he wants.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that. I forgot.
What did you say?
A chamber, and I'll walk out of the water and wring my getting out of the way of the corpses.
A chamber? Did you go in the chamber?
Yes, I did. It seemed to be
full of
where.
water?
Yes, nothing but water all the way down, unfortunately. But there's another obelisk down there.
What do you mean another?
Like the one we saw underneath the lighthouse.
With the same symbols?
With Crow Demon?
No crow demon, thankfully. No, just one of the symbols. I'll look kind of awkwardly at Torvald and Diphtha. There's a lot of catching up we need to do. There is so much information that we need to tell you about. But,
That seems very true.
I hate to make this fast, but I have a brother I need to deal with.
yes. I will. I'll pull out my tome and message to Civ and say, "How are you doing? We're back in the Underfury. We have Diphtha, but she can't leave here. How long till you return?"
Can I respond, or do I have to write it
No,
back?
you
I can
don't.
just
It
think
just
it?
shows. You think it, and
Yeah,
it
you
shows
think
up
it
as
and
writing
show.
in my book.
Okay, so you're saying how long we have Diphtha, but she won't last long down here or something?
No,
along
that
those
she
lines?
won't be. She can't leave here. But
Okay.
how long until you come back?
Jeff, how long? How long is it going to take us to get back to the city?
Not very long. 15, 20 minutes. You're riding fast. Actually, you're running beside it, right? In the
Right.
riding. Yeah. I think you can get. I mean, you met them. They were on their way. You know that you can get back in like 20 minutes.
I'll just say 20 minutes, give or take. I have Lesliana and the cleric with me. They healed Brakka.
Okay.
I don't know how many words that is.
I'll respond quickly. Great. Looking forward to seeing you. Well, yes, it is on his way back. Uggo, Lesliana is coming to Thorn. And Brakka is healed, apparently.
Well, I better change into something a little less gross.
Right.
Perhaps we should all take a rest sometime soon.
That would
I
be...
feel that everyone's feeling a bit tired and a lot's happened.
And Fahima glances over at Diphtha, gray-figured, looking down. And do we just, leave her here?
Yes,
I could...
you do.
I could stay with her. But... Uggo, is there...
What will you do down here?
I will find a way.
Diphtha, I'd be more than happy to set the room above as your place of living if you'd like.
That is very kind of you.
We will
Anywhere
afford you
under
every
the
comfort
ground
we
is
can.
where I belong now.
For now.
Torvald,
Yes.
Diphtha, what do
Yes?
you know? What do you know of the old ones?
Well, they have been around since long before us, long before the war, and many people believe that they remember. They are the few that do remember everything from that time.
What's down there is an obelisk that seems to be the source of some power that I think comes from them and comes from the abyss. It features a symbol on it, and I will reach into my pack and I'll pull out the Slumbering Abyss, the book, and I will show him the symbol in question.
Yes. That is worrisome.
You don't know the half of it.
Looks at it and she says, I told you. This is beyond us. You're fools to deal with something that is between the gods and dragons. Who are we in our hubris?
Who are they? That set themselves in charge, that force us to go about the way that we do. That is what I ask. Who are they?
They are the ones who hold all the power, Uggo.
For now.
Yes, we are actively working to reclaim some of it. And these heroes have done their part. A part that I believe is more important than the role any of us has played. And he points to Lily's chest. She holds the Secret Keeper's amulet. Diphtha, it is very important that we aid them in any way we can. I know, you have said. Forgive me if I am less capable than I once was. You must tell me everything, but perhaps not here. It is disconcerting. Where shall we go?
Is there quarters, Uggo? Is there a place we could stay?
I am sure we could take... Brakka, Jeff Brakka has stayed down here, right? He's not.
He has stayed down here. There is
tent.
definitely the War Chief's quarters that you remember well from your childhood. But yeah, it is clear that Brakka
was here.
Almost never stayed there.
Yes, I will take you to War Chief's tent. Quarters. Maybe in cave now.
Well, Brakka made this pretty homey, so Diphtha could, use his. You could redecorate now that it's yours, and make it.
She
feel
will
like
want
your
for
own.
nothing that Orc clan can offer.
Thank you.
Looking out over the bodies on the water, Uggo,
Yes.
do you know a phrase? And I will repeat to him the words in Orcish that the dead body said to me earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know what this means?
Panath al-Dral.
Nakpanath al-Dral. Do you know what that means?
Uggo, it is apparent to you that there may be a more poetic interpretation of it, but a translation of it, but directly it translates to "our souls feed the darkness."
Translation is not perfect. May be room for interpretation.
All right. Wow.
Have I heard this before, Jeff?
No. It is not like a
Where-
common phrase or
right.
anything like that.
You say one of them told you this?
Yes. The one that I was able to speak to for a moment. I mean, I suppose I could spend all day talking to the rest of them, but I don't know.
Were
what
they
else.
Tanaruk?
No, they're just orcs. Orcs that Brakka sacrificed, I think, to that aboleth.
There must be something darker than this aboleth.
Yeah,
It scares me.
yeah, me too.
What does Shothragat say?
I don't know.
I do not like it when you are quiet.
Yeah. A lot. It's unclear.
How is it a lot but unclear?
I don't know. I don't know if it's connected. I don't know if they seem to think that this is some kind of stolen power. I'm not sure. But
So he is aware, or it is aware.
Very much so, yes.
James.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Shothergot?
I don't think so. Genuinely, I don't think so.
We are going to have many problems if it is.
That obelisk gives me questions.
I trust you. I do not trust Shothergot.
Understood.
I think we should all get some food.
And rest.
And a rest.
Mm-hmm.
And if Brakka is indeed healed, that crisis is averted and we can wake up in the morning and...
Hold celebration.
Yes. And decide what's next.
Yes.
Which I think is the next big question. Where do we go from here? Yes?
All right, as you all start making your way up again out of the Underfury, I do want to say we got a gold potato from Sonic the Hodgepodge, which is a great one. Sonic the Hodgepodge.
Every
Thank
kid's
you.
favorite game.
Sonic the Hodgepodge.
That's one fast corpse.
All right, so you make your way up and out, Diphtha, staying, remaining in that first chamber with the shallow water. She sort of looks around as all of you leave, and you see her assessing the cavern as her sort of new home. And all of you make your way up and out, and as you make your way through that hole back to the surface level again, you see that night is falling on Thorn, and Civ and a couple of other people are standing there waiting for you to emerge out of the hole. Civ holding the reins of the horse, and Lesliana is standing there, Uggo, as well. I'm so pleased to see that you are not dead, Uggo.
I am also pleased to see that I am not dead. I told you I could do it.
I know you did, and I never thought I would stand here in my human form. But I am proud of you, Uggo.
I am going to need your help.
I have provided enough interference in the natural way of things.
I want to establish a center of science.
You see her face soften. A what?
A center of science. Orcs shall no longer live in rage. They will now learn to use their anger. Hone it like a well-wielded weapon by being aware of why they are so angry.
In the back of the horse, you hear laughter.
I'm popping him back in the back of the head.
Nobody wants to hear from Brakka, I guess.
I see.
He can
You
talk.
are feeling better, Brakka.
I see you are still thinking that you can lead here.
I could literally do nothing and do better than what you have done.
You told me you did not want it.
I
but you
do
seem to
not.
have- You are pointing them in a new direction, away from everything that I built.
Yes, because you pointed them in the opposite direction.
I pointed them towards strength and security.
You pointed them through fear and weakness. Needing to
rage.
serve the dark in order to feel strong. The sun is in the sky. The light is everywhere.
The way I
You
see
chose
it,
darkness.
the sun is setting on you, and all of us.
says the fool tied up on a horse.
Might I interject here? From my understanding, Brakka, didn't you eliminate some significantly cultural items around this place? Something about the ancestors burned down, something?
The tree.
Right.
He destroyed the tree.
Interesting. I'm just thinking, as you were talking, I was sort of thinking, we don't want to eradicate any culture here, right? We want to preserve the culture that you've created. We're just going to introduce science so you can better understand the world. But it seems that you've already taken the liberty to eliminate some of your own culture, so I don't really see what argument you have for further elimination of culture here.
It's not about culture.
Isn't it, though? It's about your leadership in regards to your religion, your system of beliefs that's not based on fact at all.
He wants them to serve Amanda.
Not necessarily.
Correct.
That's not science, it's religion.
Right.
I heard your speech. Your service to the Candle Queen.
She helped me out of the dark, Brakka. Helped me see the faults in myself, so I might burn them away and be stronger than I was before.
Where is
Isn't that what
Diphtha?
you seem to be wanting all the time?
Where is
to be the
Diphtha?
strongest?
I'm hitting Brakka. Where is Diphtha?
I don't know.
We are spending too much time on this.
She lives where
Pathetic
Brakka
thing.
used to live. Now.
Is she okay?
She's been better, but she's okay.
She's all right for the moment, but
She just can't really come out of there.
Can we stop spending so much time on this creature and do something fun?
Well, I would
Yeah,
Hardly.
have a drink or go get something to eat.
I
I'm
would like to
starving.
find out more about his plans with Urchenford, though, before we leave. And she looks over at him.
There's lots to do, certainly.
Does he
Are we
react?
Are we going to
Urchenford?
torture? Are we going to
Nice.
torture him?
On the back of a horse with his arms tied behind his back. He doesn't really see your look, but
Does he react to Urchenford?
I don't think you notice any particular reaction to that. No.
I don't see why he would tell us anything unless we are going to invade his mind. And I glance over at James.
Oh, well, okay. Let's just hold on a second.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything without arrest anyway, so...
Maybe we all should just have some food. As I keep saying, I know I sound like a broken record, but
I totally agree.
I think everyone could benefit from a good meal and a long night's rest before we make any crucial decisions like invading someone's brain space.
You
Certainly.
see, Uggo, you see that smaller orc, that Gurk that you had interacted with before, and he moves out of the crowd that had been, milling about doing the activities of Thorn. He kind of comes over to you, and then, as you all had been standing there had definitely been orcs observing you, looking at their new war chief, trying to understand all of these new people that are in their city. And Gurk comes over to Uggo and says, "War Chief, I'm happy to do whatever you need. There are some pressing concerns for your leadership that require your attention. Also," and you hear it,
Boy.
Brakka on the horse as well. "Would you like to retire to your quarters, sir?"
Yes, Gurk. Please show us the way.
He starts leading this entire grouping, this cavalcade of.
Civ, do me a favor.
Yahoos.
Gag him.
As you wish, sir.
And they do over the mouth of. You all start walking back even farther down into the rear of town, the sort of the deepest area past the Underfury, which is this hole in the center of the city. And you get to what is the nicest accommodations, clearly, in all of Thorn. Uggo, you recognize it as being the place where your father resided. You have many memories here. It's a place of a lot of turmoil for you. You saw your father. It is a place where your father would be restless and angry. He would plan battle after battle in this location. You remember being there as a very young child with Brakka and seeing your father unable to sort of talk to him or be around him because this was a place of intensity and almost work for him, right? Work as war chief. And as you're brought into this room, you see the items that remind you of him almost untouched. Clearly, Brakka spent very little time here, didn't change anything or move anything. That you leave the horse outside and you come inside and you see pelts and weapons that he wore and used, maps of northern Colsey and Vise, and this large wooden chair, his chair. And on the back of that chair lies this wide leather belt, Rage Fist's belt, notches cut out of it, a record of kills, and there are many notches.
Uggo, are you all right?
He hasn't changed much. I could hear him growling and cursing.
There's a lot of memories here, I can tell. But it's your choice what to do with them. With those memories.
There is one thing that my father has taught me that I will never forget, and that only he could have taught me. What I should not do.
Yeah. Hold on to that.
What do you want us to do with your brother? In the meantime.
I will keep him chained here. He shall be held accountable.
Do you want to put guards on him? He is still
Yes.
dangerous.
Agreed.
Probably wise, yeah.
And now that he's feeling stronger, I think he's even more than he was before. But he's cut off from his power now.
Are you sure?
Magical power. He may not be cut off from his political power, and that is my biggest worry.
Well, what did you do with the tree, Brakka?
Give it away.
To whom?
To whom?
Mukdun.
To be used for war.
Whatever they want, it matters not to me. Ugh. And you are right, Uggo. I do not feel my power anymore. You've taken everything from me except my life, my honor.
I'll awaken mind into Brakka for a moment. What about this?
I hear you, Warlock.
Huh. Fascinating.
It faded fast after you killed the ripple in the water.
Okay. Yeah, you should keep him under guard.
Brakka, the reason you are not dead is because I love you, despite what you have done. Do not pretend to me that you do not recall when we grew up. Do not act like we did not have a loving and deep relationship, even if it was problematic.
Uggo, you were my brother.
I still am.
No. Now you are War Chief.
Still your brother. I can't be War Chief and brother.
Father could not be War Chief and father.
Father was weak. That is why. He could not be strong and also honorable. He had to kill and rage and bathe in blood to do the things. I have learned you do not have to do that. There are better ways. Ways that are stronger. Ways that hold more meaning. Ways that are more powerful.
You'll show him, Uggo. You'll show him those ways.
Listen to me. You do not even know what leadership is.
You're
There
right.
are real problems, Uggo. The generals will come to you with questions. Even now, Ukdun asks for more troops. They suffered defeat at the gates of Daltothum. One of
Because of me! And they and my family here!
You lie.
I do not! I turned this one, and he refers, Uggo points to Fahima, turned Uggo into giant ape! Use orc as weapon!
It's true. I was a witness.
That did happen.
Yeah.
And defeat Ukdun!
So you are the cause of their problems.
Yes!
So you wish to go to war with Ukdun.
I do not wish
Betray
it.
our oath of unification that
No.
I made.
I do not wish to go to war with them. But I will offer a different path. One that does not require death.
Everything requires death.
I am not surprised you believe this.
Could you gag him again, please, Civ? It's late. This is going to go on forever.
While I'm gagging him, I'm saying, I thought maybe we could take the cleric and Lesliana to Diphtha to see if there's anything they could do.
Something tells me it's deeper than that, but
Right, but they might be able to at least say what is wrong.
open to trying.
I'd be fascinated to see. This is all quite overwhelming, and I am very upset that I didn't remember to bring my notebook.
You want a piece of paper?
Yes.
I take out a piece of paper and a small writing utensil.
Yeah, I'll give her a spare quill.
Sure.
Thank you.
I think
Juicier starts to scribble furiously.
we owe Uggo at least one moment of celebration before we do too much more business.
Yeah.
He has a lot of leading to do, but the perks are you get to celebrate a little bit. Right, Uggo?
Yes, celebration will be bittersweet, but it's necessary, especially to, I imagine, orcs.
If you want to
are
lead the way
suffering.
you want to lead, I think it is important to not always dwell in what is going wrong, but also remember to celebrate what is going well. And you have to lead by example with this, because it doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, seem like it's the strong suit in the orc world.
That will be the new way.
Great. Are we okay leaving Brakka here, or do we need to bring him along and knock him out?
Well, we need some guards or something. You can't just be
I
left
will
here.
let Gurk. Gurk!
Yeah, he looks inside as he's standing outside. Yes, welcome. I mean, oh.
It's okay, Gurk. If you have noticed, we are twins.
Sometimes it is difficult for Gurk.
It is okay. I will talk to the generals tomorrow, after our celebration.
Yes.
There will be a celebration throughout all of Thorn.
I will make it so.
Good. Gurk,
Yes, yes.
are you general?
I'll go.
Are you general?
No.
You are now.
Gurk, not ready to be general, Great War Chief.
War Chief will teach Gurk. And that is the first way we will change things. We will pass down knowledge.
Like an apprenticeship.
Yes.
So it is spoken.
This episode is entitled Gurk's Big Day.
Big day for Gurk.
As he leaves the room, he says,
May your enemies die at your feet.
No.
No?
No. May your
Lesson one.
enemies be redeemed in the light.
May your enemies be redeemed in the light.
Redeemed. Redeemed.
Redeemed
In the light.
in the light.
Yes.
Redeemed in the light. May your enemies be redeemed in the light.
Yes, Gurk. Good job, Gurk. Yes.
Thank you, War Chief.
Thank you, Gurk. The kind.
Oh, yes. I will prepare your great celebration feast.
and he runs off. And that is where we will take our intermission. All right, so the Uggo era in Thorn is beginning. We got a couple of balloons from Angel Devilson and Lily Dumblestuck fan over that period. Team Force of Good is up to 64%. Team Force of Evil at 36%. But we appreciate all of the support. And we will be back after a brief intermission, so please stick around.
Yay.
Yay.
Welcome back to the Dungeon Run. Thanks for sticking with us through intermission. Where we left off was in the War Chief's quarters in Thorn. Brakka gagged and bound, and preparations being made for a celebration of Uggo becoming War Chief. But night is still looming with our heroes, and they have Lesliana and Adnim, the healer, in their charge, who are now preparing themselves to spend the night in this area as well. It's a large indoor area with plenty of room for people to bed down. Very much the king's quarters, so to speak. It is the largest residence in the city and reserved for the leader.
So are we going to go party?
Oh, did you want to do that tonight? I was going to do that starting tomorrow.
You're the war chief.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having Adnin, is it?
Adnim.
Adnim.
Adnim. Adnim.
Adnim, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. I'd love to have Adnim talk to Diphtha quickly if we can. I don't know possibly what you can do, but you've helped Brakka immensely, seemingly. So.
I'd be happy to help in any way I could. We must go to where she is that correct?
Yes. Does everyone want to come? Or I mean, I could...
I will go.
Okay.
To make sure that he is safe. He?
Right,
Adnim is a he, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Is Lesliana coming too? Or just Adnim?
I would very much like to see the Underfury. It is something I have heard about for many years now. To be inside it would be quite a thrill.
It is not a nice place.
Not really. It's slightly better now than it was earlier, but
I'm sure it is a fascinating place, which is all I care about.
It is that for sure. Okay.
So
Is that
Civ,
Underfury
James,
We're going to go see Diphtha. Just for a moment.
Okay.
You want to come?
Well, I don't know what... Uggo, what's your plan?
I was in a very hard fight, and now I can fall asleep.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Fahima?
I was thinking I could possibly bug Torvald about some runes to copy down before I go to sleep, but otherwise I'm quite tired as myself.
Okay. So, well, I mean, if you don't need me, I could stay here also and help guard Brakka.
You seem to be good at talking to her when she is depressed.
Oh, Diphtha?
Yes.
I was gladly come.
Okay.
Yes, why don't you come?
Please.
Okay.
All right,
I'll be
so
back.
Civ, James, Lily, and Adnim and Lesliana all head out back down toward the Underfury as night falls on Thorn, and Uggo and Fahima stay with Brakka in the residence. Brakka chained to a post, I'm guessing, something like that.
I mean, if they don't have another cage like they did down in the...
there isn't a cage in
Underfury.
the residence. I mean, you could order the works to bring one if you wanted to, but you could also just chain him here, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
just
honestly
chain
surprised by that.
This is my bathroom cage, my bedroom cage,
It's a 2-bed, 3.5
my-
cage.
my study, which also has a cage in it.
We cage
No
our
shortage
books
of
even.
cages.
We put books in cages. I don't know.
In order for it to be a full cage, it has to have a closet. So, it's a weird. The permits are weird.
Legally,
It's a
if
new
you're gonna
thing called
sleep in the
cage
cage,
theory.
it has to have at least one place where they can look outside of the cage.
The new world is cage theory. Everything is a cage.
All right, sorry about that.
That deep.
Yeah. So everybody moving toward the Underfury, you head back down around and into the center of Thorn, down through that dark cavernous entrance into this room with the shallow water, and you see Diphtha with her back to the entrance, just sitting cross-legged on the ground, motionless. And Lesliana and Adnim look at you uncertainly as to whether they should proceed into this room.
I'll walk up to Diphtha and I'll pull the blanket out again. I'm going to try again and put it around her shoulders.
This time she does not move. She doesn't resist. She just goes around her shoulders and she sits almost in sort of a meditative trance.
Diphtha, I brought some friends for you to speak to. They might be able to help you.
How could they help me?
They study everything, the whole world.
I would very much like to observe your condition, if I may. You may, but I don't know what you may be able to do.
Diphtha was one of the Sky Children. We found her in a destroyed lodestar months back, and but since
I am no longer a Sky Child now. Now I am something darker, something deeper.
Do you eat?
I don't know. I am not hungry, but I perhaps will need to eat.
I'll pull out some bread.
She takes it from you and takes a bite.
I eat.
Good. When you
see Lesliana noting that down.
When you told us your name was now Diphtha, who told you that? Where did that name come from? I'm just curious. Was it something you just suddenly knew?
It is any fallen Sky Child becomes past tense.
Huh.
Unmade, cursed. We are fragile. We are told from birth.
So we had said her name to you, and you've never heard of someone named Calcutta? Calcutta oh gosh, Garumtha Thitha? I'm trying. James is like trying to Garumtha Diphtha Calcutta.
I'm aware of a Calcutta.
You are
Sky Child. Calcutta.
You are. All right. You knew her?
Did not know Calcutta, but I am aware of her. She lived on a lodestar.
When? When did she fall to Earth?
I do not know. You are telling me that she is a Theed.
She is.
This is news to me.
She is the one. Seemingly, she is the one who is the mastermind behind capturing the Wardens.
I thought she was a drow.
Drow and Sky Children are one and the same.
Do drow have pointy ears? Do I know that? Do they have elven features, Jeff?
You haven't seen a drow, only Fahima has.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've seen Calcutta Theed, though.
Under a hood.
Right.
I think Fahima would have described the drow that she saw to the party.
Okay, then yes, you know that they have pointy ears.
So does Diphtha or Diphtha have pointy ears?
She always did.
Okay.
You said that. Did you say the name Mirasus Blue meant anything to you, Diphtha?
No. No.
What about Osira? Do you know of anyone?
There is so much that we all don't remember.
I know. We've learned. We've been able to learn so much. We've been through the entire the forges of Delta Thum. The 4 former forges, of which there are actually 5.
Fascinating. Fascinating is what Lesliana says. He stays silent.
Do you want the priest to try to heal you? Would that make you feel better?
Perhaps. But I do not believe what I have. I do not believe it is a healable condition.
No, it might make you feel better in the meantime. I mean, you were down there for a while.
It's worth a try.
Perhaps I would love to try.
You see Adnim walk over. He looks at Lesliana.
You're
nods.
up.
Your turn, buddy.
He places his hands on her and he speaks in that strange intonation.
I look at James like,
What
language? Do you know what language that is? No. Okay.
Am I familiar with it at all?
No, it doesn't seem to be. You recognize it as an incantation, but it's not words that you would
Lily's
pick
trying
up.
to spruce up the bed situation, make it a little more homey when this is all happening, and like,
nice.
yeah, maybe
Pull
make
the
it feel
dead
just, like,
flowers out of the vase.
yeah, like just I'm sure
Replace
there's
it
like
with new dead flowers.
bro orc decoration that we're gonna like take bones off the walls and all that.
Don't you know prestidigitation now? Are you like,
Yeah,
"Don't
yeah,
smell better
for
in here?"
sure.
Dull the spikes. Dull the spikes that are there.
Yeah,
Just a little
yeah.
bit.
Lily's gonna like prestidigitate the heck out of this place
It's
to make
less
it.
of an under fury and more of an under annoyed now.
Yeah.
It's a little better.
Yeah.
Oh man.
An under
Understated
agitated.
is what it is now.
Get some throw pillows. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
So you see this healing spell cast again, like you saw before, Civ, and Diphtha certainly seems to have been affected by it, but her skin remains that cold steel color, that dark gray, and her expression softens slightly under the sort of renewed health that she's experienced, but there's no transformation. There's no difference in her appearance.
How long have you been down here? Or do you know?
Ever since we were captured. I
Really?
do not believe this place in particular is. It is a strange, evil place, but I believe what that creature did controlling my mind is separate from this.
I see.
Well, I'm not fully convinced that whatever's down there is done. So, if there is any, we'll make sure you're guarded, and if there is anything, you notice any change from down there, please do not hesitate to notify us.
Did you see anything else down there? Besides dead orc bodies and the creature in the waves?
Not me, just the obelisk.
What obelisk?
Oh, right, that. And I will regale Civ with the story of me as an octopus.
You were just going to leave that out and just not say anything to
A
me?
lot's happening. I'm sorry. It was pretty cool. You missed it.
Well, then we just need to go destroy the obelisk, and then she will be fine.
I don't know that, and I think maybe she's right that what's happening to her is not necessarily connected to the power coming from that obelisk.
Well,
I
it
think
couldn't hurt.
It couldn't hurt, but I don't know how to get us down
stick
there.
Fahima on it. She will go down there and turn into a gator and rip the head of it off.
It's not a bad idea. We did destroy the last one. I don't know what it did, but yeah.
I think we should destroy the obelisk. That is what I think we should do.
I'm all for that.
Lily,
Certainly.
what do you
Tomorrow.
think?
She's holding two different sized rocks, deciding which one looks better next to the bed. Yeah, I mean, in general, I'm not a big fan of obelisks. They've never really done much good for the group, and I think that destroying it, I'm on board with. I'm just not sure the best approach to doing that and how we actually destroy it and make it permanent without dying.
I can't make us breathe underwater anymore. So
I can breathe underwater, and I roll the ring on my finger.
Oh.
It's pretty powerful. So how do we destroy it?
We stick Fahima on it. She goes down there and she blows it up.
But Fahima, maybe it should be a two-sided effort where Fahima can turn herself into like a crocodile or something, and then I could wear your ring and I could throw some Eldritch Blasts at it, and she could, tear it away. I don't know if I don't want us going down there alone again. It's very unsettling down there. Maybe it's something for tomorrow.
He shrugs. I thought we were going to party tomorrow.
Yes, to keep a good agenda, like Lily always does.
Maybe we should party tonight, and then tomorrow we can destroy the obelisk. I'm just saying we might not get another chance.
I hear that. I'm not against that idea.
Well,
Lily, you want to party?
Honestly, always. But I've learned that that's not always the best idea. I also don't think Fahima can turn into a crocodile again tonight. I think she needs a rest.
Right, we do it tomorrow. Obelisk tomorrow, tonight we party.
Or we get up, take care of business, and then we party.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long.
We can also party tonight. I mean, it's not mutually exclusive,
Right.
I'm just thinking, the sooner we destroy the obelisk, maybe Diphtha comes back to us in some way.
I guess I'm just thinking, if we're going to destroy the obelisk in the morning, we might as well be well rested versus not well rested.
We'll see.
I also don't know that destroying the obelisk is going to have that. I mean, I think hopefully I think it'll be good. I don't know that it will.
Well, is there anything else down here?
Like pointing at Diphtha. I don't know that it's gonna work well.
Is there anything else down here? Like more caverns or?
There's a lot more dead bodies I could talk to if you want to do that, but that doesn't sound like a fun way to spend the night.
Good. I think we don't need to do any more of that.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Jeff, if it's all the same to you, I would like to sit out the partying, and we'll have an early morning.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did Hamlet
spoken
get back
like a
to
true
you?
druid and a true cleric?
The winged pig. Did the winged pig get back to you all right?
Yes, I meant to update you on that status. It is safe and sound. And
thank you.
There was a moment when it also seemed to be quite a lot less angry at us.
Oh,
which was much appreciated. In fact, I do not sense any of that rage that has been so characteristic of our observations here in Thorn.
I think we did something about that when we destroyed that really, really, really awful creature down there.
Yeah.
Well, Fahima destroyed it.
I was gonna say, I don't feel right taking credit. It was mostly Fahima.
No, it was all Fahima.
It was all Fahima. Yeah. Okay, Diphtha, if you're all right.
I'm as all right as I will be.
Okay.
I have to accept a new existence.
Okay.
But I do appreciate the sprucing.
It's the least that I could do. I have so many ideas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of prestidigitate like some pictures that we can put together in like kind of a grid situation where you can look at them and get ideas. Okay?
Dream board?
Yeah. But sleep well and
Lily invented Pinterest.
Yeah. It's canon. All right. Meanwhile, back at
else? Is there anything else that Diphtha needs before we leave?
I mean, no, she's just gonna be here, right? She's gonna be. Okay. This is her. She's resigned to this fate at this point.
She's
and
chill,
you guys have created as much of a a sort of a positive environment for her down here as possible. But it's within limits, of course.
I'll get some more food from the orcs, so I'll leave what food I have with her so that she's got some clean supplies.
Okay. Meanwhile, in Uggo's chamber. Fahima, what you plan to do some studying? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I wanna track down Torvald and talk to him, but first I wanna find Uggo.
Okay. So Uggo is there. Torvald is also there, and you have Brakka restrained, so you can.
Oh, Fahima! I was just talking to Torvald and was asking if he wanted some blood wine. Would you like some blood wine?
Now, blood wine. Please tell me it's not actually made of blood.
Yes.
Uh.
Fermented. Sugars in blood used to ferment very potent wine.
I mean, look, I'll try anything twice. She takes a glass.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, I'll I don't know if Girk's around, but I'll try to get in touch with Girk here and get us a couple of bottles of our Thorn's famous blood wine.
Uggo leans his head on the door. Girk!
I need Girk!
Runs back.
Girk's gonna need an under Girk. We're gonna need a sub Girk. Assistant to the Girk.
He procures the blood wine for you. Actually, you'd probably be able to find it on the premises.
Yeah.
Still
right.
In your father's stash.
Actually, in one of the stashes, I'll look for like the oldest bottle of blood wine, and I'll put it aside and say, "This one is for Civ."
I dabble in blood magic, so I think that this I don't know. It just seems like it's fitting.
Oh,
somehow.
Be careful. You're gonna see how Thorn parties.
Consuming blood. I mean, what does that do?
Oh, I just realized. Yeah.
Arcane properties of consuming blood. It just
Parties are
like
gonna be very different now.
So Fahima will take a sip of this blood wine.
All right, roll me a Constitution save. You have advantage from Gateway Guy.
Thank you, Gateway Guy.
Also, we got a potato just now from David J. Pro. Thank you, David J. Pro. You're the best. We appreciate you. Team Force of Good, 68%. Team Force of Evil, 32%.
21.
All right, so it certainly burns going down. You feel it. It's not like anything you've ever had before, but there's actually a bit of an aftertaste that's not terrible.
Interesting.
Not as bad as names suggest, huh?
I just want to try something really quickly here. And she finds a corner of the room, like a corner that's just made out of rock and stone, and she attempts to cast Blood Lance with the goblet of wine.
All right. What happens is the blood in the wine sort of separates into two tendrils in the air, like it's extracting the bits of blood that are still in the wine. It's a much weaker version of the spell, and it would take probably multiple bottles of wine to get a full Blood Lance, because the wine itself has changed, it's fermented. You can pull traces of actual blood out of it, but it would take multiple bottles for you to be able to cast the spell effectively.
So weak blood lance, and it usually has to be from a willing creature or a corpse. But I suppose this could be like a blood of a corpse, right? Kind of logic checks out a bit.
Yeah, I just think it's really old.
Yeah, old corpse blood. Well, if there's any old casks that are bound to be thrown out, well, I guess it ages, like wine.
Yeah.
I'll keep experimenting.
We don't happen to keep it around often. It tends to run out pretty quick.
Uggo,
Yeah.
just I have a question that I've been meaning to ask you. I just didn't seem like it was the appropriate time. I'm just curious about your relationship with your mum.
Which one?
Your Liliana.
Oh yeah,
Lesliana, sorry.
Yeah, mama. Human mama.
Human mama. I couldn't help but draw parallels between her and my dad. I mean, they're both scientists and both sort of picked us up in pursuit of a greater good and taught us everything they know.
Well, I don't know that my mama wished for me.
Well, no, but we were both acquired. I should say.
Oh. That makes me sound like object.
Right, and again, I don't want to sound insensitive because I do realize that everybody has different boundaries and different...
You do not have to walk on phoenix shells with me.
Okay. Meep. Ruffles her feathers.
What? You are constantly reborn. You do plenty of shells.
She knows it's a tender subject.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Love you, Meep.
so not walking on eggshells. It just seemed as though she talked to you like you were an experiment.
I am.
Well, it didn't... There were moments of tenderness, of course, but it did seem that she talked to you a bit like you were an object or something. And just in contrast to Conroy, because the way that he spoke to me was just with so much love. I'm just curious, that's all.
When Uggo was first found, Uggo was not self, was husk, was embodiment of rage. When first found Uggo hurt some of Lesliana's people, killed a few. Uggo should not be alive. And the only reason he is because of Lesliana. Whether that was because she loved me, or because I served her a purpose. Uggo has come to understand her. And though it may not appear to be love as you have been loved, it was far more love than Uggo has ever seen in his lifetime.
That was what I was wondering, just based on how you've described your relationship with your other mum. Might have seemed like quite loving in comparison.
Yes, but she died when Uggo was young.
It's just fascinating to me how similar we are. Now that I know more about your human mama.
I think we're all a lot more alike than we may think. Uggo is starting to see patterns in things. Uggo think that Calcutta Theed was once Skychild. Which means others may know her, or know of her. And I know one thing from learning from Human Mama. Best way to know enemy is to learn about them.
Yes.
We have many enemies, and we know nothing about any of them.
So speaking to the Sky Children, or Drow, if we can.
I think we need to search for your father.
I would love to. But, he said we need to find the Secret Keeper first.
Yes, we need to find the grave.
But finding out that information, I think, will unlock a lot of these sort of loose ends that we have.
I'm worried. I'm worried you all may have to leave me here.
Why?
Thorn.
You think they need a leader?
Yes.
And do you think that leader has to be you?
See no evidence of any other leader. Uggo says, I see no evidence of any other leader!
You gotta bang against the back wall, or the...
Well, I do agree that we don't exactly have time for you to cultivate a democratic society here.
Yes.
Or even time enough to train somebody to take over for you.
Yes.
So, it's a matter of what's more important. You staying here as leader, or coming with us. You're one of the 5, you're irreplaceable. We can't continue without you. You are the Inferno Warden. You're fire.
You are the Candle Queen, so I guess I should listen to what you say.
I'm the candle. Wait, what?
Avatar.
Could you explain that a bit more to me? Because I don't quite understand.
Physical embodiment of God. You are made of wish, yes?
Yes.
You embody all of fire, yes?
Yes.
What else is there to know?
Well, it seems that I'm still not quite drawing the exact parallel here.
Everyone has forgotten about the past. You are made from magic, and you are literal fire made magic. What is there? What are you missing?
Well, don't you think I'd be a channel, a conduit for Candle Queen's power?
Yep.
I'm not.
Every time you're around, I get stronger.
Well, I've learned everything. I've learned it from books. I've learned it from my dad.
Okay. You're unveiling what is already there? You're rediscovering the past?
Okay. Am I allowed to disagree?
Of course.
I disagree.
I respect your disagreement, Candle Queen.
Okay. I think the Candle Queen might get confused if you're calling me the Candle Queen and also her the Candle Queen, so...
You would know. I'm just saying, Fahima, I think you are far more powerful than we all know. And we all keep looking at that amulet on Lily's chest. And every time I do, I think of you.
Well, I just hope that we can uncover the secrets sooner rather than later.
It is my goal.
And you know, it just occurred to me, if whatever the secret is that I discover that my dad said that would make me very upset with him, perhaps I can turn to you for guidance, because it might force me to challenge my relationship with him and everything that I've ever known. And who better to talk to than someone who's had 2 mamas? Who's been treated like an experiment, just as I fear that I am.
I feel like I should tell you you are not an experiment.
But you don't know that it's not true.
You are not an experiment to me.
Huh.
You are reason to continue.
As are you. Which is why my personal, totally objective, third-party vote in this is that you have to come with us. You can't stay here.
Thank you, Fahima.
Now, you said that Torvald was around here?
Yeah, he's right there.
Torvald the creepy.
He's in the other room. He's in the other room. You find him lying on a bed that is in another room, and you see him, and he says, "Oh, forgive me, I've not slept in an actual bed in quite a while."
Oh, no, I was just wondering if I could possibly take a look at your book, your spell book, and copy down some runes for various teleportation circles. At the moment, I'm quite limited to several unsavory destinations.
Afraid we have to visit the circles themselves in order to copy the runes. They are not on my person. But I will aid you in any way I can.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, I am quite anxious to hear everything that you've done, but I admit I have not slept well in weeks.
Yes.
I don't know if you're aware, but I was in a cage.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
No, I don't mean to chew you out.
No. I'll let
So
you sleep. I should
comfortable.
sleep
This
too.
is so much more comfortable than the aforementioned cage that I slept in.
Well, at least all the rage is gone. So you're no longer raging in the Cajun.
Yes. And most of my energy during that period was spent just trying to resist. And now I can relax for once. But I promise in the morning, I want to know everything.
Okay. Well, I should probably head to bed too then.
Oh, not going to join me for blood wine?
Oh, is there more?
Is there more?
A few more glasses of this
What
blood
kind
wine.
of question is that? We're in the middle of Thorn. Is there more?
It's got a bit of a sour aftertaste, and the foamy kind of film on the top is a bit
I'm
disconcerting.
going to ask you a question that might sound strange.
Okay.
With all of your blood magics, have you ever drank it?
No.
Why?
Well, it's normally considered quite unhealthy.
You're drinking it now.
I think perhaps the aged, the years it has been aged is somehow making it palatable.
This is about the time the rest of the party arrives back with Lesliana and Adnim, and everyone starts sort of, at least those two start making their way over.
So the new name of this episode is Wine Tasting with Uggo.
You know how you know it's good? You bleed a little.
There you go.
Oh.
I taste O
what?
positive. Mine's more of an AB.
Yeah, as soon as they come in, Uggo grabs the bottle that he set aside and goes,
Siv,
Yes?
I saved the oldest bottle of blood wine for you.
His eyes immediately lights up and he gets really, really excited and he reaches out and right before he touches the bottle, he stops and he turns and looks back at Lily.
Oh.
I said the next time I was going to drink, I was going to tell you first.
Okay. It's not my decision, Siv. It's your decision.
I did not know you were trying not to drink anymore.
It is something that Lily and I talked about.
Well, then I am sorry I offered it to you.
It is not your fault. You didn't know.
No, but I did not want to tempt you.
I would like...
A hug?
I would like to try it at some point.
Well, you're the best judge of... Well, maybe not always, but you can judge for yourself if you can have a little bit.
Well, are we going to party tonight, or are we just going to stay in like a bunch of old people?
Listen,
I don't know what you went through today, but I know what I went through today.
It's been a very long day.
I don't remember all of it, but
Somebody exploded an aboleth today.
maybe we
Your
just go
mind
out,
was invaded.
maybe we just go out for a little bit, so that the orcs here can see that we are, you know, one of them. One
It's
of
not
the
a
people.
bad idea.
It is not a bad idea.
Okay.
maybe a ceremonial cheers?
Yeah. All right.
We could buy everyone a round of drinks, order some food, play some games.
And just to be clear, if we buy everyone a round of drinks, is it buying everyone a round of blood? And do we have to make the blood to do that? In which case, I might step out of this.
It's pre-aged. It's vintage blood wine.
You take the blood of your enemies and you drink it, and they add your strength to your own.
Got it.
Oh,
Sounds
interesting.
Sounds fun. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. It's
I'm down.
when
I
in
got gas.
Thorn.
Yeah.
Is that a good tavern, or is there like an inn or something?
I haven't been here in a long time. Why don't
Girk.
we go find out?
Girk.
You're certainly the war chief, and you can get beverage wherever you want.
Do they have like a hall, like a big ceremonial hall or something?
Oh, definitely. And you can imagine that is being prepared for tomorrow, per Uggo's request and Gert's.
Pre-party, baby. Pre-party.
Tailgate.
All right, so you guys are all heading out of the residence and
well,
down
wait,
into...
are there guards on Brakka? Do we have some orcs on Brakka?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Uggo can arrange for that and get orcs on Brakka.
I just don't want to come back with another Groligo scenario.
No.
Coming this summer,
Torvald's
orcs
like,
on Brakka.
All right, so as you are walking out down into the lower part of the city, it's kind of a raised area where the War Chief's quarters are. You're kind of walking down into the lower part of the city. You see torches illuminating a number of huts around, and as you kind of make those first steps out the door, everybody roll me a perception check.
Okay.
You have advantage, Civ, from Baron Bojangles.
Thank you, Baron Bojangles.
You have advantage, Fahima,
Perfect
from
name for
References
right now.
Needed.
Thank you.
James, you have advantage from David Gen Pro. Uggo, you have advantage from Spectre Ranger, countered by
Spectre Ranger.
Alpha 2789. And Lily, you have advantage from Chef Scott 68.
16.
Wow, I can't believe you don't have any
Nat
disadvantages.
20.
Because it's
Nat
my
20.
birthday.
That's
No
right.
one gets disadvantages.
I guess.
19.
All right, Uggo. Once again,
Oh no.
you're the only one who sees it.
Oh no.
I got a 23.
Of course.
Okay. Lily, you notice it as well.
Okay.
I'm really
Flash,
focused
just-
on partying right now.
Yeah. The briefest of moments.
Course.
The briefest of moments where James, it's almost like a single frame of a black outline of where he was. Just the briefest moment where he's just all black. And James, if you can join me in a secret room, please.
Yep.
Secret
Roll.
room.
All right. So James, it is just us here. The rest of the cast cannot hear this. And as you walk through the grand door of this War Chief estate, really, this large residence, the top of Thorn, at the up this little rise, this little hill of Thorn, and you walk out and you see torches illuminated down below there. All of a sudden, everything goes black. And you are in that familiar place with black on black, a swirling, roiling black shape in front of you. And you hear,
James Quillis,
Hello.
I see you. I notice you. And I am displeased. You must be reminded. I told you to kill the pretender. And yet, he lives.
I did one better. I removed his power from him. I humiliated him. He's left now a shell of his former self. Isn't that a far worse
Are
punishment than death?
you to question my judgment? Do not presume to understand my commands. I have given you free will and the power to affect the world. Look at the pretender. Look at the orcs in this city. They lost their free will
in service of something that did not care for them as I do you. And how do you repay me? Disloyalty. Debate. You must be reminded of what you are now.
Without my friends, without the trust of the people around me, I'm not of much use to you. That's what I'll say. I disobeyed you? Yes, I did. But I told you once that I wouldn't stand amongst them like a stick of dynamite with the fuse lit, and I still feel that way. And if I don't know. If betraying them, if this is what our relationship means between you and I don't know what to do.
You would betray me. You betray them.
I don't know if I know the answer to that.
I ask for so little, James Quillis. I did not ask for betrayal. I asked for the blood of the pretender. The one who would steal our power. You mistake me for one who is patient. You must be reminded. You are no longer you. You are something more. You are mine.
And the blackness goes away. In that moment, you feel an irritation, a strange sensation on the back of you, right at your shoulder blades. Each of them, you feel a strange growth there. A bump, small and easily concealed, but you know it's there. Two of them lingering just on your shoulder blades. And your mouth is different too. Your teeth. You run your tongue over them just in that split second, and you feel they are sharper somehow. Your incisors slightly longer. Again, easily concealed, but you know it. You feel it. And then you are back in the exact moment you left. And we can leave the secret room. Back. the rest of the team was watching. We are, maybe I can message them back from the secret room. And in that split second, you see blackness overcome. Just the outline of James is black. I don't think we have Katie. That's why I'm stalling.
Right. There we are.
She rolled on the high enough that she sees this too. So you see that black outline, Uggo, Lily, you both notice it. But what everyone sees in that split second, you're all walking out this door, sort of jovially going down to party, and you see James turn and look at all of you, and his eyes are a solid black. And on his skin, all over it, you can see just below the surface, the veins seem to be a purplish black as well. He looks strange, unhuman.
James?
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay?
Are you okay?
No.
What's going on?
Fahima will rush over to him and
no, stay away from me. Stay away from me for right now, please.
Okay.
Fight it off.
Listen, I've been trying not to tell you because Shothragot can pretty much see me all the time and hear me all the time, and so I'm sorry if I've been keeping things from you, but I'm being punished.
For what?
And I'll look at Uggo. The old ones want Brakka dead. And that wasn't something I was willing to do.
And so what's your punishment?
Well, you might be looking at it. I don't know.
Do I need to go get the cleric again?
I don't think that's gonna.
What about the curse thing? I look over at Fahima. What about the thing that we were going to use on the Zanelka?
Well,
Couldn't we use this on James?
I don't believe the remove curse spell can remove a warlock's.
Well, we have to try to do something. We can't just leave him like this.
Well, look, James, you're the only one who knows the details of your pact. What's going on? You have to tell us.
Being reminded of what it has over me.
So is it going to kill you if you don't kill Brakka?
I basically, I don't know. But I don't think I should be near Brakka.
Why do they want Brakka dead?
They call him a pretender. A usurper of their power.
Is there any penance can be taken?
I was hoping that, I think you're looking at the penance right now. I was hoping that by removing the power from Brakka, that they would take that as good enough, and doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, if he stands trial, he might still be killed. Is that going to be good enough?
They're not patient.
Why can't they transfer the punishment to him? Why are they
Because
punishing you?
They don't have control over him. They have control over James.
Right.
James made the deal.
And all of you looking at James, it's almost difficult to even make eye contact with him. All of his eye is completely black. It's hard to tell where he's looking. It is a solid black color. And he has his beard and his flop of hair, but every tiny little vein under his skin seems to almost be pulsing with this purplish, blackish hue. He looks completely inhuman.
Can they hear us right now?
Probably, yeah.
There has to be some sort of bargain you can do. There must be something that they want.
You mean besides killing Brakka?
Well, they're keeping you alive. For what purpose?
Listen, I don't know. I don't know.
James.
I don't know if you should be around me.
James, I feel like you're not telling us everything. Why should we not be around you?
Because look at me!
Well, I see you, but why should we not be around you?
Because these things get in your mind and they control you.
Even if you haven't made a pact with them?
Well,
That's what I can do.
The aboleth controlled me, and I didn't make a pact with it.
I imagine their powers are even more when you do make a pact with them.
So you're afraid that you'll be used as a tool by them to get into our minds?
They already are. The fact that he is this way is that.
Are you sure you don't want to talk to priests? It might not be a bad idea. Or Leslie Anna.
Give me that ring, Civ. The ring of water breathing.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to go destroy the obelisk.
Can't
James,
go alone.
No.
I don't know.
You yourself said no one else should go down there alone.
Besides, we haven't
You
rested.
yourself.
How are you going to?
I can throw Eldritch Blasts all day long. You've seen me.
Don't you want to go down there prepared with a bit more than an Eldritch Blast? Be reasonable.
What if that just makes them more angry?
We'll all help you destroy it. After
Have
a
you
night's
considered
rest.
that the obelisk is Shothragot's?
I have. It carries their symbol on it.
And if you go down there and try to hurt it with its own power, what makes you think they'll allow you to do that?
I don't know.
I don't think they
I'm
will.
grasping at straws. I don't know.
Okay. I think everybody's tired. I think we need to sleep on this, James. I know it's scary, but I don't want you going down there by yourself. That's not the solution.
Can you sleep? You can't sleep?
I have a question that we may decide is a stupid question, but I'm just going to ask it because there are no stupid questions. That's what Grammy Jumblestuck always says. Can you unmake your pact? You can't take it back.
How would you know? I know that the Brakka's the only other like something like a warlock that I've met, and you saw what that took.
If I brought you to the Candle Queen?
I don't know where. I could stop. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should stop using any magic at all.
You don't think that they'll torment you even more? Isn't their whole thing that they want you to be a tool for them?
Yeah.
If you cease to be a tool, it seems that they cease to find use of you, but I don't think that ends with a release from your pact.
Fesh, I could reach out to Fesh. He was going to try to do some research, but he needed to know whether or not I was being watched and listened to at all times, and I have a pretty clear answer for that now.
Did you when he asked you?
I didn't. I suspected, but I didn't know for sure.
What if you tried to kill Brakka and didn't succeed? Because of a reason.
Wouldn't they know?
Why would they?
Because you just said it in front of him.
Well, look, they can't be listening to every single word we say all the time. How embarrassing. Can they?
Yep.
Are they listening to me in my private time?
No,
Every
I mean,
single
they're
fire
in
fart
my-
they can hear.
They're in my head.
Civ reaches into his pack and pulls out a spare scarf. You might want to just put this over your head for now.
I don't think I should be around others. Sorry.
I don't think you should be alone either. Just saying.
Well, perhaps we forgo the partying for the night and stay here and get some sleep.
I should probably show my face to the orcs and Thorn.
That's true.
Yes, and I should go with him just to make sure that he is safe.
Yes, you should.
Go.
Inside check.
I don't even think we need one.
Go.
I'm sorry, my friend. It is hard when you are underneath the thumb of something that is stronger than you.
It says it asks for so little. It's still letting me do everything I want, and so until I said no, and then this is what happens.
Well, maybe if he is sentenced to death, Uggo will let you deal the final blow.
Uggo is not that type.
That's pretty grim.
If I sentence him to death, I will be the one doing the death.
Well then, offer it something else. Give it a gift.
I tried to do that already. It's not in the mood for negotiation.
It might sound stupid, but in all of my fantasy and romance novels, there's always some kind of something that can break a curse. A kiss, or a magical well of water somewhere hidden in the woods.
Wait, are you saying that if Uggo kissed James right now, his stuff will go away?
Well, it's certainly not impossible.
I mean, we could also try to kiss
James, I'm gonna try to. No, look, this is for your best interest. This is for your
not
best
right
interest.
now. Not right now.
But she says it might work.
He doesn't feel attractive right now. He's not going to like it.
Well, I mean, nobody likes the medicine.
I'm just saying I have hope, that's all.
We've lost Jeff.
Ron broke Jeff.
Oh man. Nobody likes the medicine.
I don't
That's Uggo's new slogan for his shirt. Nobody
That's
likes
right.
the medicine.
I'm sorry, it
came to my brain.
We'll move on.
Fine.
I don't think it is wise that any of us touch James, but I do think the cleric and the Lesliana might be able to at least give you some guidance. You're not the first person to be possessed.
That's true.
Yes, it was.
The first person ever?
Several times.
Possessed.
Well, the first person I've seen with my own eyes.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, Civ, you go. I'll go back to the tent and we'll talk to Lesliana and her friend.
I'm just gonna say it because I feel like it needs to be said. Please don't kill Brakka.
Well, I'll stay with James, maybe, just to make sure
I don't want.
that nothing happens.
I know you don't want to, but when you're, sick, you'll do things to not be sick anymore.
Maybe don't stay in the same house with Brakka.
I agree with you.
Maybe stay
We
with
could find
Diphtha.
you in one of the cages.
Huh? Yeah, that's an idea.
Just it's a safety if you don't feel in control of your body.
I'll think about that. That's a hard maybe. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay, we'll go back.
So Uggo and Civ proceed down into the city while everybody else goes back in and beds down, basically, right? Although,
Yeah.
James, once again, you find that you are unable to sleep. Do not need it, in fact. Civ and Uggo, as you walk, you find Thorn still fairly active. It is the orcs are doing things well into the night. This is a common occurrence for orcs in this city. And
I mean, aren't they kind of nocturnal in a way?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so there is, a lot of activity. There are things being built and put together. It looks like there are preparations being made for the large ceremony tomorrow, the feast, and a number of orcs that are just sort of having a good time. Others, there's this palpable sense of unease that it's a dichotomy, right? Because there are orcs that there's this sense of excitement about this coming event tomorrow, and there is purpose there. So they are building and constructing and getting ready for things. And a sort of a undercurrent of excitement about this new leader, but the bedrock upon which their entire society was built, this undercurrent of constant aggression, is gone. And so there is this unease there, and you sense it. Everyone defers to Uggo as he walks by them, moves through the city, wherever you may be going. There is a deference, but also you pick up on this, Uggo, very different tenor among the orcs. You don't remember Thorn being so unconfident.
As we pass by, especially those that seem to be less confident, those who don't seem to be as into the celebration.
Yeah.
I think Uggo will take the time to stop and have a conversation with them. We can roleplay it if you want, or we can,
Sure. What is the idea of the conversation?
Yeah, the general concept is honesty and acknowledging the feeling.
I mean, we can roleplay it. I think sure. you could walk up to an orc who is notices you and bows, but looks shiftier than, not as direct. Orcs, of course, always very direct and very confrontational, especially in Thorn. And this one, all of a sudden, doesn't meet your gaze and is less inclined to be present. Be really.
Yeah, that's the kind of individual that I was looking for.
War Chief.
You, what is your name?
I am Orn.
Orn. What clan, what family you come from, Orn?
Proud Paw. I don't know.
Yes, I have heard of Proud Paw. Fierce warriors.
Thank you, War Chief.
Great thinkers. Your brain is working. I could see it. Speak it to me.
I have never
You have
felt
nothing
this.
to fear.
I acknowledge you, War Chief, and your wisdom, but I feel not like I did yesterday. I feel a fear
Yes,
that I do not want to admit.
you should. Is normal. Is part of everyone outside of Thorn.
But for so long, Thorn did not feel this, and we were so certain. So
Made us weak.
that
If you cannot give possibility of failure, how are you to learn? How are you to grow in strength?
failure is death.
No.
Death is the end.
Death is the end. Debatable. But failing is not weakness. And it is not death. Have you succeeded in all things that you have done?
No.
Yet you stand here, alive.
That is true.
So then failure is not death.
I guess that is true, War Chief. But it feels like I no longer have anything to grasp onto to be sure about. There are demons in the woods, and I knew that Brakka had the answers to dominate them, to bring them under our control. Now I
He
respect
did not
you, War
dominate
Chief.
them. He fell victim to them. Bigger demon took over his mind, made him do these things. How did you feel when he ripped out Tree of Ancestors and gave to Ukdun?
I was angry, but anger fed my confidence, and I knew he had the best interest of Thorn at heart.
He did not. He had best interest of Brakka at heart.
But Brakka is Thorn when Brakka is War Chief.
There is not one orc that is Thorn Orc!
And Uggo started to say this out loud so that everyone pays attention and listens to what he's saying.
We are family! Together we are Thorn! My father was wrong! There is not one voice! There are many! Let me hear you say it!
There are many.
Louder!
There are many.
Feel it! Grasp that anger that you feel that you cannot connect to anymore. Use it!
There are many. Orcish
There are many
voices.
what?
Voices in Thorn.
Yes.
Strength in numbers.
Yes. And there is strength in diversity. Not just orcs are strong. Humans are strong. Gnomes are strong. Tabaxi are strong. And what Thorn does not know, and what many, even the humans, do not know, that Uggo know, entire planet is family. Not all of them know or agree, but we shall show them by being that which we wish to see changed in this world. And one thing Uggo wishes to see: Thorn be profitable, be place for everyone to come and to learn and to talk about, to be proud.
See a bunch of the orcs listening in.
Uggo. I wrote something for you. It is in Orcish.
No.
Do you want me to read it? Yes. For them.
Yes. Let me introduce you as War Chief, voice of War Chief. Now, Uggo not always good with words. He tries, and ever tries harder, must learn more, must grow, must become stronger. But Uggo have learned best lessons come from those who are different than us. They have experienced things we have not. Let my voice of the War Chief tell you. This is Civ. Listen to him.
So Civ gets out a piece of paper that he was scribbling on. Retar umlafka dun garon. Uggo rag fikuv ik unuav juka var kresur najor kori Ukthasi Kamul. Uggo, Sleas Roavas Dimonuk, Prav Kavor, Rohivlak, Gijak Wolf Ukul Krukir, Ag Kero Bingle, Ukuland. Uggo, Liwo Nak Ukavor, Gujat Lukav, Avovan Oruk, Rothorn, Naruk Kav, Umbrag, Ag Muvak Poravana, Bajak,
Fuck!
Grafa Rom Hi, Ukhado Usun, Zi Ubuyukuk, Avavhav, Latka, Nauk Vir Rok Vikuraja, Avo, Avi, Lig Hav. And in common,
Uggo's really great. Uggo's super cool.
Yeah, more or less. Uggo Rage Fist is not just War Chief, but reborn into the Shaman King. Uggo, Slayer of Water Demons, Protector of the Flame, Blood Wolf Skull Crusher, and Hero of Bingle Island. Uggo restores what was once lost to the Orcs of Thorn. Honor, courage, and most important, family. Orcs shall dig themselves out from the shadow's black abyss that they knew and reveal a visage to the light.
So the voice has spoken, and so has Uggo!
So it will be done.
They respond in unison.
Good. We shall celebrate in the morning. Let there be light!
Yes, War Chief.
Disperse.
Yeah, as soon as most of them are dispersed.
Sev, that was really good.
Thank you. I was practicing my orc.
You're very good at it. Thank you. That was very kind of you to say.
I felt like you need someone to have your back.
Right, man.
I haven't always had your back, Sev.
I've not always been there to have a back to protect.
Glad you see that now. That is what I wanted to talk to you about for so long. I cannot have your back if you don't let me see it.
It is not easy for me to trust, my friend.
And it is often too easy for me to.
That is because you see everything in black and white.
You have shown me there is gray. I am trying my best to expand the color spectrum.
Come, we need to celebrate at least a little bit. It has been a long day. At least eat a good meal and perhaps see some orcs that are ready to party.
And as the two of them walk into the night farther, we can check in with the other half of the team. Still turned back. Are you guys went to sleep? Okay.
I mean I have
Clearly
something.
James did not. Yes.
I did not. I would like to sitting alone, probably in like a cage with an open door in a room far away from Brakka, as far as I could get. I want to cast a dream spell to Nance.
Ooh.
All right. So as night falls, you
Is she the magic kiss?
Yeah, I
sit
hope
there and conjure your spell, speak the arcane words, and touch that place, a dark place that lets you inhabit someone else's dreams and nightmares. You are transported, conjuring this new reality, this dream reality. And what is it that you conjure?
A bright afternoon on the grounds of Nightstone.
All right.
Yeah.
So it is inside the mind. You feel yourself enter into the dream of this sleeping woman far away somewhere in Turles.
I make myself look like I normally look. I do not appear as I currently do.
And there you are. Bright day, big bushy tree, long branches and leaves, casting a refreshing shadow over a bench. You see, sitting on that bench, a woman with long, stringy hair and big glasses. And she says, "James Quillis, oh, I didn't expect to see you today."
Hi. I could use a friendly face. Hello.
Please, sit down and talk.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a lovely day. It's unseasonal for this time of year, isn't it?
You're dreaming.
Oh.
Sorry.
She holds up her hand and looks at it. It seems so real.
Yeah, it's, I created a nice afternoon for us, I guess.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Of course.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not here. I'm in Thorn, actually, very far away.
Orcish country?
Yes, been very busy.
My.
How are you? How's Turles?
I'm busy too. I'm having a hard time. Yes, I'm busy. I've been working all day. Fesh and I have. Well, we've been tracking down some of the leads for you.
Thank you.
It's very difficult to. But yes, I've discovered a few things I don't know if Fresh has told you. There's.
No. The last time we spoke, it was a few days, I think. But yes, I told him quite a lot, and he told me you'd been doing quite a lot. He said you'd risk quite a bit to gather information for us.
Yes,
and I wanted to say thank you and say hello.
We should thank you. I believe you've done so much, and you seem to be a great hope for all of us here.
It's very kind of you to say. Well, I hope we'll be able to return to Turles soon. We have a few more things to do, but we would like to come back there, and it would be great to see you. But
yes, I would like that too, on a personal level as well as a professional one.
Great.
I have so much concern for you, and I must tell you that it is quite dangerous here.
The demons, the creatures, they're still...
They batter the gates almost daily, and Persta has stuck with the moratorium, even though all of us at Nightstone have begged her to allow us to use magic to defend the city. She believes that the creatures are even more reason to turn away from magic. She says it is an example of the danger that magic presents.
Have you seen her? Have you been around her? Is she as she normally is? I mean, I know I don't know her. I mean, I've seen her, but do you get the sense that she is herself, or is she possibly being affected by something?
Oh my! I don't believe she is under anyone's control, although that is a terrifying prospect.
It is.
I have not witnessed that myself, but I suppose it is a possibility with so much what is going on these days.
have you and Fesh been able to uncover anything about the old ones?
I believe Hermel has been heading up that inquiry. I've been working on the Chosen Gao. It has been quite fascinating to discover that the Queen seems to be alive.
Yes, yes, he mentioned.
Working on approval of an envoy there to perhaps learn more.
Please be careful. They're very, they can be very secretive and quite dangerous.
Yes, I know, but this does seem like a very pertinent lead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Hermel will let you know all he has found about the old ones when you arrive, but...
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, I don't want to keep you. I'll let you return to your sleep, but, I also wanted to say that, Fesh had asked me, a question about the old ones. And, please tell him, the answer to that question is yes, all the time.
Okay,
He'll know what it means.
I will relay the message.
Thank you.
Do you think we can stay here just a bit longer?
I'd like that.
Yes.
James, I have one more question for you.
Sha-la-la-la.
Yeah?
Maybe known as white.
I wonder if you could tell me whether this is a feature of a dream, but it looks a bit like you're wearing a mask.
Huh. It's me, I promise.
I'm sure it's just the dream, but
Yeah. It's just the dream.
this is very pleasant, and I appreciate it very much. I knew you were going to be a very powerful spellcaster.
You were the only one.
But I was right.
I guess so.
Look at you.
Good night.
Good night, James. And thank you.
Thank you.
That's where we'll end tonight.
Oh.
I will say,
so adorable.
I'll say one more thing.
Sure.
Is that after that I get done with that dream, I think about the cheesemonger. And then and then James pushes his book away from him.
Wow. Awesome.
Why couldn't you just kiss her? It was a dream.
Just for one birthday wish.
Kiss her!
I guess I did get my birthday wish that I didn't die. So
You did. All right, that's our episode this week. Thank you for sticking with us. Hey, we're supported on Patreon. That is how you can support our show. Super grateful for everybody that gave us potatoes and yams and balloons tonight. That is wonderful. Anybody that subscribed to our Twitch channel or gifted subscriptions, thank you for that as well. The final total looks to be Team Force of Good 68%, Team Force of Evil 32%.
That's fair.
So
we didn't use that force of good very much tonight, did we?
It's true. Well,
there wasn't a whole lot of rolling tonight.
Yeah, there was.
Rolling.
now, were we supposed to re-roll the natural 20s or just the ones if we re-rolled?
If you activated it.
Okay. So we can't use it next episode?
No. Just for this week. And again, I know there was not a lot of rolling, but you had that in your back pocket should you needed it.
Yeah.
And thank you, patrons. We have one of our top tiers of patrons. I should say our topmost tier, which is the Chrono Dragon, still in effect. We are so grateful to References Needed. Hopefully you saw References Needed sponsorship in the middle of the show during the intermission. Thank you, References Needed. Your generosity is incredible, and we are grateful for it. And then tier right below that is Team Force of Good and Team Force of Evil.
Woo!
Which, the rewards for which are numerous, but one of them is that we read your name at the end of our show in a fun way. And patrons themselves get to suggest the style in which we are reading those names. And this week, we have 2 new styles suggested by our patrons. So let's roll and find out who is going to do it. There's a 2, which is very appropriate as the birthday.
Yay!
She went last week, though. Do we go to next week?
And the week before, because it was just Katie and I.
Okay. Fair.
All right, so
We can always team up.
I rolled a 1
Yeah.
Me.
for the first one. And
Do the entire thing in Orcish.
I rolled a 1 and a 5.
Yay.
Katie.
Great.
I think Katie went last week too. Though.
I did.
And the week before.
Yeah.
And the week before.
It's 1 to 3. Okay,
The
that's
dice love us.
Okay.
All right, go
All
on.
right. So, Civ, you'll do the first one, or I should say, Jared, you'll do the first one, which is Team Force of Good.
Okay.
This was submitted by Brian Hughes on the Patreon. Brian said, do it as a voiceover on an animal safari show.
How perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Here we are, deep in the Australian outback. There's only a few things. Oh man, my Australian accent's going to be rough. There's only a few things out here that could kill you. And that's starting with the dangerous Armando 89. Its poisonous bite could possibly put you into a Hadrian X coma.
Oh no.
But we have quite a lot of other things that can kill you here as well. There's that thing right there, known as the Wilbro Junior Dactyl. We've got dinosaurs in Australia now that they've been unearthed recently. It seems Finn Darrell had been practicing with some DNA and combined it with some frogs. And as we all know from watching Jurassic Park, you never do that. And the IR Mukau family has decided to devote a lot of their money to a charity to bring people back that have been eaten. Now, deeper.
Thank you.
deeper into the outback, way in the bush, there's the Gold family. And what most people think is the Gold family is they're a bunch of nice villagers that will take care of you and give you water.
Hello. Well, pardon me there. Huh?
Oh, hi.
But the truth is,
Right
all they want is just your jewels. That's right. They're vicious, and they'll nick right off of your pocket, whatever you had got in there.
Just take the whole pair of pants, actually. Just take all your pants from you. Well, things in the pockets.
Steal your accent right off you.
That's right. All of a sudden, you'll be Cockney. But don't worry, because there's a rare herb that's out in the middle of the bush called kitty scratches, and all you have to do is scratch it across your arm and it'll fix you right up, and you'll be saying dungeon run yay for the rest of your
dungeon run
your
yay,
safari.
bro.
Dungeon run, yay.
That's right. But what you don't want to do is eat a lot of Braber, because Braber will get stuck in your neck and it'll swell up, and Dr. Cold Candor will come and have to slice your neck open so that they can take it out, so that you can breathe through your neck hole. And you don't want to be...
Is this an medical treatment? I don't know about this, Dr. Cold Candor.
Neck hole.
You don't want Bob Harris taking care of you. You definitely want Dr. Cold Candor. And if you get...
I'm Bob Harris. I don't believe in anesthesia.
And he approves that message. Now, some say Ogito 17. Is it Ogito or Ogito 17? One must ask oneself.
Ogito.
I believe it's Ogito.
There's 17 different species of Ogito. That's what I know. And what they do is they crawl underneath your fingernails up into your hand, and Mickey Wolf has to bite it off. So you're handless for the rest of your time out here in the bush. Wow. And poo monkeys will be throwing their poo at you the entire time you're out there, right in your face. And if you don't have any hands to protect yourself, it's game over. And as we all know,
something that has a clear name.
as we all know, your
That makes
past
sense.
decisions will come back to haunt you when you're dangerously deep in the bush.
Yeah.
Well
Jared
done.
Kajak,
I'm a
ladies and
fan of the
gentlemen.
Australian cockney.
Son.
I'm a fan of it.
The Australian Cockney, whatever it was.
Team
Hello.
Force of
Yeah,
Good.
from the same place.
All right, and now we are up to Morgan Peter Brown with Team Force of Evil. This is as a repair person explaining a costly bill, listing out all the things needing to be fixed or replaced.
Oh man, I was gonna use that one for Sapphire. Dang it.
Haha.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
This comes from a concerned citizen of Ain.
Okay.
Very, very much up my wheelhouse right now because I'm dealing with moving and buying houses and all these
All right.
things. So it's a repair person explaining a costly bill, listing out all the things needing to be fixed or replaced.
All right. Yeah, we finished your inspection here, Mr. Kanata.
thank
First of
goodness.
all, well, I got nothing but bad news here for you. That change box is not down to clown, buddy. That is going to cost you an arm and a leg. And your J-Rock system, the one that goes throughout the entire house, needs a full rework. Rewire. I gotta get
to be working fine, the J-Rock system.
Now I gotta get my three cousins. Gorban played the Carson and Fernando the Jackal. You'll love them. They gotta
expensive,
come in.
frankly.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. They're gonna charge you way up.
man.
But they're
Oh,
professionals. They're gonna take your J Rock and they're gonna make it as good as new. You had a Forest Elf 80, right? Right?
Yeah. The Forest Elf 80 was a really good model, I thought.
Man, you need a good Forest Elf 86. That's what you need, actually. It's garbage unless it's a Forest Elf 86.
Does it just cost 6 more?
Unfortunately, it costs 6,000 more. It's not
Six
great.
times more.
Not great. But I got some good news.
Oh,
we
okay.
do got a brand new shiny 8-bit boo in the shop that we can throw right into your incinerator, right into your garbage disposal, and hook it right up. It is very expensive, though. It is very expensive.
You said it was free just a second ago.
Oh, no, I just said we had it in the shop. I'm just saying we don't normally have it, but I mean, the shiny 8-bit boo, when it comes in, it's gotta go right in there.
Well, if you feel like I need it, I guess.
I mean, you might think I'm nuts, but honestly, I'm a student of Grimm, and the Grimm school really is all about maximizing your quality and your worth here as your house. And honestly, once I call Gorban played the Carson and Fernando the Jackal, they are going to rework the entire system for you. It's going to take about 8 months. But the good news is that it's also going to be very expensive.
That sounds about right. Frankly, you're the third quote I've gotten, and you're the lowest. So.
Okay, fantastic.
Jeff just leaves the stream.
Too
Like,
real.
all right,
Too
this is
real.
too much. This is too real.
Stop being funny a while ago.
All right. Thank
Yay.
you, Morgan Peter Brown, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Team Force of Evil. If you want to have your name as part of those wonderful folks that are supporting the show, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/thedungeonrun. There's also all sorts of other tiers, lower tiers. It's easy to be a part of it. And I'm guessing that by my birthday, which is August 1st, we can get to 500 patrons. So please tell your friends, help make that a reality. I would love to.
And
love
we'll do
to
a
have
giveaway.
That happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do the map.
Sweet.
Jared's gonna give away a map. That's amazing.
Amazing.
Happy birthday again to our own Escalon Parsons.
Great.
Yay.
Are you gonna go party like a rock star after this?
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Stay
All
up
that-
till 5 a.m.
All
on
that Jared can think
Wednesday.
about is partying right now.
I know.
Everything
Jared
about
has
it.
never wanted to party more than on this episode.
Someone
of
tells me
Adventure.
that Jared's kid is being babysat right now, and he's just like, I want to party.
Can I do
And
something?
thank you to everybody in chat who sang happy birthday too. So kind of you.
sweet.
Thank you so much. And everybody who reached out to me on social media too. Thank you so much.
Best community on the internet.
That is for sure. And we will be back. I hope to see you again next week as well. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time here on twitch.tv/The Dungeon Run. Until then, humankind. Ebo.
Ebo!
Great Bert!
You're doing great, Bert!
You're doing great, Bert.
It
simple dungeon run. As a simple dungeon run.